Hello, my fellow movie fans, and welcome to the new adventures of A Feast of Films Theater with your hosts, Jesse Prosser, Matthew Ayalew, and Ethan R. Hill.
In Technicolor.
So in my travels of going and getting us coffee, I definitely was just reminded about the travesty that was Leonard Nimoy's Bilbo Baggins song.
Bilbo.
You've seen that, right, Matt?
He's only
No, I've
3 feet
never
tall.
seen that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Bilbo.
So back in the
Baggins,
60s?
greatest little hobbit of them all.
Yeah, thank you. So back in the 60s, Leonard Nimoy recorded music. He had a whole album.
Yeah.
One of the songs was about Bilbo Baggins.
Oh my god.
Like, and the music video is absolutely the worst thing in the world. Because it's just a bunch of, like, hippies dancing around in colorful sweaters with fake ears on, and just, like, it's... You need to watch it. It's like...
No way. That's crazy.
It's genuinely one of the most
It's-
joyful and terrible things.
100%.
Leonard Nimoy, really?
Yeah. I mean, because you know William Shatner did music too, right? Like...
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Anyone
William Shatner, guy does everything apparently.
who
goes
doesn't,
to
everybody
space.
else on the Starship Enterprise.
Leela. Leela.
So I guess we should tell people...
That reminds me of SpongeBob.
Leedle,
Like you guys are like, it reminds me of Leonard Nimoy, and I'm like, you know what? That just reminded me of SpongeBob. There's a classic for you. That's a great episode.
Oh, yes.
Flying Dutchman. Back in the day. That's an older one too.
I was thinking of, because you were talking about William Shatner singing, I was thinking of Zap Brannigan singing Leela in the one in...
L-E-L-E-L-E-L-A.
Which I found out that episode is called
Should've got
Amazon
more.
Women in the Mood.
Respect.
Right?
I guess, should we tell people Matt's back for this episode?
Oh, 100% we should.
Hey, look, guys, you probably already saw already, but Matt's back.
Hi guys.
Matt's right here.
Oh wait, we don't say hi to people anymore.
No.
Oh.
This is really... This
Like,
is...
who said that? Who said that?
This is going to be really interesting.
Hello.
He's right-
No one in
he's
particular.
right
Hello.
down there.
He's right at our eye line. If you notice us looking straight down, it's us looking at the back of Matt's head.
Yeah, we swear, viewer, we
Yeah,
are
in
we
the
are
same
paying
room.
attention.
We're in the same room and stuff. He's just looks like he's in a box.
Yeah, that's,
We had
that's
to ship
exactly.
Matt out to us.
Yes.
Yeah. FedEx, man. You know what? And that's the thing. Like, shipping nowadays is just crazy. Everything's backed up. And
nothing shows
especially
up
when
on
there's, like,
time.
blizzards and stuff. It's like, oh, forget it. So,
Exactly. It's been like, what, 3 weeks for you to get here? 4 weeks to get here?
Something like
yeah,
that,
it took
yeah.
a while. It was, I did get hungry, but I found some, like, kind of crumbs in the corner and, kind of, like, popped around some of the other boxes, checked out what else was being shipped. And I think there was, like, some rare ostrich meat and stuff like that. It seemed
Rare
some
ostrich
blue
meat.
milk. There's also blue milk. Wasn't sure if it was good or not, but I don't know. It was
Well,
just,
I don't think blue milk is real. And,
or if it was milk at all. I mean, who knows? It was
You
blue
should-
and it was creamy, so
You
that's
sh-
kind of.
you should go. You should go to the hospital. Frank.
Also, why was there ostrich
You need to see a
meat?
doctor.
Why
I
ostrich
don't know.
meat?
People
Why was
like
it-
exotic meats and stuff.
It's
you know?
true.
Is that illegal? Is that legal?
Uh,
I don't know.
I know ostrich
know.
eggs are a delicacy. So,
That doesn't make it legal.
can you imagine the chicken wings on? from
Oh
ostrich?
man, just like wing night.
Yeah.
It'd be like in the Flintstones, right?
I
When
want-
every time,
Exactly.
like they get food, it's like giant. Like, could you imagine wing night with an ostrich wing?
Yeah, can you
Come
run
on.
that sentence by me again?
Ostrich wings.
Come on.
No, you said, could you imagine the chicken wings on an ostrich?
Well,
And it's
Well,
like, well, I can. They're
that's-
just tiny little wings.
I know.
That's
I know
also
what he meant. I got you, Ross.
that's also an equally funny image. It's like this big ostrich, and it's just these tiny chicken wings.
And then the reverse of that is this chicken that's stuck with these massive, and he still can't fly.
somehow,
that poor
somehow,
chicken just-
somehow, Larry, even with a 5-foot wingspan, could not lift off the ground.
It was his emotional baggage carrying him down.
Yeah,
Is that the chicken name, Larry?
Yeah. Larry the
Larry-
outcast
Larry
chicken,
the-
yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
100%.
Yeah, it's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, except for, like, Dutch.
Except for Dutch.
Look, Larry the
the
ostracized
ostrich
chicken.
Larry
the
ostracized chicken.
Okay.
We got a
Okay.
pitch here, guys.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Larry, the ostrich-sized chicken.
What are you singing?
Ostrich-sized chicken with ostrich-sized wings.
I thought you were gonna go for the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No,
tune,
I was
so
making up a
very
song. I
confused.
have my air guitar, and I'm good to go.
You can't play air guitar.
Watch me. Go down in the comments and say, tell the viewers that, oh no, my air guitar.
I'll buy you a new one.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cheap. It shouldn't be that hard. It's just,
I'll pay with this money. Isn't having visuals like a whole new level of gags that we can just do?
100%.
Just
Anyway.
invisible stuff.
Yes. Invisible gags.
Invisible gags. We have a camera now, so can do gags that people can't see.
Exactly.
But they can see that we can't. They can see that they can't see it.
We spared no expense.
Exactly.
We spare no expense.
Spared no expense.
Oh,
So
nice.
good. But yeah.
So yeah, welcome back home. Welcome home, man.
Oh, thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
I never really left. I just had to take a vacation. You know what I mean?
Welcome,
Just,
welcome back to the pure insanity of Feast of
I just had
Films.
to. I had to
color.
run, go get some. Got some lotto tickets and stuff. But
How'd that
and
work
I
out?
came
for
back.
you?
Milk.
This time I came back. I had to run to the superstore and get some milk. But this time, I came back.
You thought you were like, oh yeah, like you thought you won, but you only had like 2 out of the 1 millions. You felt
Yeah.
you're too embarrassed to say anything, so you're like, oh
Or like
no,
one of
guys,
those-
I'm on vacation.
Or one of those fake cards. For Christmas one year, so like my family at Christmas time, like I know this isn't Christmas right now, but it's I'll tell you because it's related to the lottery
It's-
ticket thing.
It's snowing outside. It's fair.
Yeah, exactly. There's a
No, it's
blizzard
not.
happening
It's
right
nice
now,
outside.
so yeah, it all works together.
Yeah.
So at Christmas time, like we play like family bingo and stuff, and there's always these bingo prizes. So one year, some people put in like lottery tickets, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's a fun. You like win a prize, you win at a game, and then you get to play another game, see if you win some actual money.
Yeah.
So fun. So my mom got one. And she like scratches it, and she's scratching, and then she's scratching, and then she just stops dead, and she's like looking around, and she looks back at the card, and she looks back at everyone else, and she looks down at the card, and she looks back at everyone else, and then she's like, oh my god, she starts like freaking out, like moving her hands, and we're just like, what's going on? She's like, I won $5 million, and she's like jumping up, and she's all excited, and we're like, oh no way. And then like my cousin's busting a gut laughing in the corner. We just have no idea what's going on, so we're getting all excited because like me and my brother are like, yeah, we'll get $5 million, what's up, we're gonna be rich, we're gonna roll into school, be balling, like what's up, dogs? Because we kind of went to like, you'd agree, like Centennial had like some of those rich kids around because it was in like the new
Oh yeah,
Of
no,
course.
stuff.
dude,
So-
100%. Like
Yeah,
just moving
yeah.
across the city. Yes, that was a very rich neighborhood.
Yeah, and I, I was like, poor little black kid, whatever. Didn't have much money, so I'm like,
Moving
yeah,
on
I'm gonna
up.
walk into school and be balling. Me and my brother are getting hyped. We're like, yeah, and then my cousin's like, okay, guys, just stop, relax, because my mom's like, she's starting to cry and stuff already. Like this is going so far.
Oh no.
And they're like, relax, and she's like, what? They're like, it's a fake ticket. Like we're like, what do you mean it's a fake ticket? And then you look on the back, and it like kind of tells you like this is a gag gift. It's not actually real.
Yeah.
So it's a fake scratch ticket that tells you you've won $5 million. So with that, I was back to being poor again. I was like, God damn it.
That ticket's
Like,
more
come on.
useless.
But for that brief
You know
moment,
what? They're like, we have to stop you because like we just like everyone's like hyper, like yeah, let's go. Could you imagine if we like took that and like tried to get it redeemed, and then they're just like,
could you?
nah, man. Like,
what would
how
have been
depressing. I mean, that would have been funny as hell, but like,
what would have been even worse is like if everyone was scratching around the same time, and everybody's card was like
just
oh
like,
my
we all
god!
won $5 million. Oh, the whole family's rich. Let's go.
Instead, it's
Let's
a card
go.
that's more useless
Yeah.
than the golden ticket to a chocolate factory.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, that's kind of what it was. It was pretty funny Christmas experience. That's not the only time that my family has made my mom cry out of sheer joy. One time, they got her a barbecue and a tarp, like, because we needed a new one because it was kind of like old, and they got this like they put a new tarp over the old barbecue and made it look like they all went together and bought her a new barbecue. So she
Okay.
was literally so happy. She was like crying and stuff. And then everyone felt terrible because it was actually the same old shitty barbecue under the new tarp.
Your family sounds really mean, man.
I mean,
I know. And these
that's
are
a
like the
classic
only
prank,
two
though.
examples. But like
like
You
if
know
you
what? No, I don't believe
Like-
in pranking people at Christmas or for their birthday.
because that's like
It's like when
You're
I
like,
when
you
I
wrap
got
up-
you the
you wrap up their old bike and put a bow on it and say, "Oh, hey, we got you a new
no,
bike."
that's
And
so
they all-
mean. Look, I
The
gave
thing
you a
is-
fake, I gave you a fake box for a Nintendo Switch, but I gave you the money for the Nintendo Switch.
It's true. No,
Yeah,
that's
Okay,
that's,
hey,
that's
let
the
me
trick.
let me finish the story because like
That's
yes,
the
it
trick.
does like make my fam like they thought it was gonna be haha funny because we like to play jokes.
He
like that.
apparently also thinks it's haha.
And,
I thought it was pretty
like
funny.
it would be pretty funny, but it went south on him. Like
Yeah.
it really backfired when
Yeah.
my mom started crying about it because then they all felt terrible afterwards,
of
right?
course.
So then they did end up actually buying her a new barbecue. So in the end,
That's the
No,
thing.
but
like,
what your
their
mom
fake
didn't tell
joke
you, though.
ended up making them have to actually buy her a new barbecue because they felt so bad. So
And what your mom
All-
didn't tell you, Matt, was that she was in on it and she pretended to cry so people would buy
yeah,
her a
probably.
barbecue.
You know what? She probably had them all figured out the whole damn time. She's
Yeah,
like,
was
I
she
know
just-
I know these SOBs didn't get me anything. I'll
They're
just
gonna
cry,
prank
make them
me?
feel
Well,
bad. Then
it was
they
a-
will get me a new barbecue.
She's
Winning.
crying, and as she walks away, it's like that, and it's like the ending of A Usual Suspects.
Or,
Winning.
or Thriller.
At the end of the day, all's well that ends well.
I don't like pranking
and we ended it
people
with
with
a new
gifts.
barbecue, so that was pretty cool.
I think
Like,
it's
I
fine
don't
to
like-
prank people with gifts as long
If-
as you get them an actual.
Yeah,
good
if
gift.
it's like if you have
Like-
the reel as a backup,
Yeah,
that's like
yeah, exactly.
because
You
like
still have
that's-
to have something, yeah.
maybe
well, it's
not
like
a
when we-
actual $5 million lottery ticket.
Yeah.
But so
Well,
yeah,
that
that's a
one was
bit-
pretty. That one was
that's a
pretty
bit
funny. It
different.
didn't go
Here's-
as far, but it was
Here's
still
the real $5 million.
the lottery ticket thing is funny because like at the end of the day, it's a chance that you could win or not.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
like for me, I kind of agree. Like if you have like get a lottery, an actual lottery ticket, like a scratch lottery thing that goes with like the gag one.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like then it's like okay, well, ha ha ha, but I could still win something. But it's still
But
the
yeah,
same
but then you win
gamble.
nothing or like $2, and it's like,
Whereas like
man, I don't know.
whereas when it's a barbecue, that's not a 50-50 chance. Excuse me. There's not a
Oh
50-50 chance that there's a barbecue underneath the barbecue cover.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah.
That'd be kind of amazing.
it's really our contortionist friends. Like
Wow.
I love how I just like jump online. I'm like, I'm just gonna throw all my family's dirty laundry out here, like all the practical jokes that went sideways. This is what the internet is for, people.
This
is what it's for.
The quality content people come to Feast of Films for.
Yeah,
Well, it's like, I think-
exactly.
I think one year we got my dad a tablet or something. We got my dad something, but what we actually gave him was like because he was one of the things on his list was an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave him like a pad, like a period pad, with an eye drawn onto it. And he's like, "Oh, funny guys, funny." And then we gave him his actual gift. And he's like,
ha ha.
he's like, "Oh, what am I
which
going to use
was
this
like
for?"
which was like a Samsung Galaxy S1
It's a Zune.
tablet.
Nothing's
Or
wrong
like-
with Zune. Zune was perfectly fine when it came out.
Right.
It
What's
just
a cheap-
lost the war.
What's like the rip-off version of Apple? What are those called? Is there like a Pear or something? Got you a Pear phone too.
we got
Depends
you.
on the series because there's a bunch of TV shows that have like parodies of that. One of them is
Yeah.
Hair.
Parodies.
Shut up.
Hair.
Office had the pyramid,
The pyramid. Yep. It's a triangular screen.
but
Yes.
but no, like so what Prosper's talking about, the Sony Zune was perfectly fine. I knew several people who had a Sony Zune.
The Zune was Microsoft.
No, it was Sony.
It was Microsoft.
It was Sony.
No, it was not because they had a special Halo 3 one when it came out.
Are you sure?
Oh.
They
Well, let's-
100% did.
All right, let's Google this. Let's
The
Google.
Zune was 100% Microsoft.
Could you imagine if it was like a mix? It's like a joint effort between.
Sony Microsoft collaboration, the Zune.
Oh.
No, I don't want Zoom.
The Zune.
Zune.
Yeah, Zoom is something completely different.
Interesting.
No, I don't need Zoom.
I don't really know.
Stop
Who made
sending me to
Keeps
Zoom.
looking up Zoom on his phone.
You're like, God, I'm trying to look up old technology. Quit messing around here.
Yeah, nobody even knows what the Zune is anymore.
It was a classic.
Yeah, it was Microsoft.
Yes.
Wow.
What did
There you go,
Sony
Prosser.
have?
Point for you, buddy.
At least I can admit when you're
Winning.
right.
Yes.
Winning.
Because that's when it matters to admit things.
What was the Sony MP3 player? Because I want to say it looked very similar to
I think
the
it was
Zoom.
just.
It was probably the exact same size.
They
just like
still sell
Sony.
them. Sony still sells MP3 players.
Yeah, it's probably just a Sony MP3 player.
Yeah.
Because Sony in itself is a brand.
Yeah.
I just remember they were also high in competition at the same time.
Excuse me.
Because it was like Zune. Oh my goodness, the one that looks like a thumb drive,
Oh yeah.
where you would just plug it into your computer.
Oh yes.
Yeah, no, because Sony, I guess, yeah, Sony, Zune, and oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, it looked, yes. Okay, I know I got it mixed up in my brain,
Yep.
but because, yeah, I thought that's what a Zune was.
No, not even a little. No, like honestly, those Mac, like the
Microsoft ones.
the Apple, the classic.
Oh, yeah.
iPod classics. I watched so many movies on that thing, like. Because, like, it was like, oh my god, I could put a movie on this and watch it wherever I want. That's amazing.
Yeah, I always thought that too, and then I never did.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I have all these movies.
I had, like, Rambo 4, Crank 2,
So yes, my mind merged the Sony MP3 player and the Zune together.
Yep. There you go.
But
Yeah,
speaking of Zunes, oh, go ahead and finish your...
no. Like, I specifically remember that the Zune was a thing because they were releasing a special Halo Edition one, and that's the most I remember about
I love
it.
how 90% of your memories are basically just related to Microsoft and Halo.
It's like, yes, Halo was there. so-
Halo. Like, did
Yes.
someone say Halo?
Let me tell you about the history of Halo. Starting back in 1997. Let me tell you about that.
No, it's gonna be Prosser when he has grandkids and stuff like that. They'll be getting ready for a Christmas pageant. Mom will put him in an angel costume and like a little halo on top, and it'll be like, "Oh, you look so cute with your nice little halo." And Grandpa Prosser walks over. Halo, I remember when the first one came out, the Great Halo War of 1990.
No, my one grandson will be like, I don't want to go on stage, Grandpa. You hit Marine. No, sir. Then listen up.
You hit me. Let's go.
For those of you who play Halo 2, you'll understand that reference.
Yes.
I don't
yes,
understand that
yes.
reference.
Yeah, we gotta get
And
to
then you'll be
Halo
like,
2.
I know what the ladies like. Come on, boy.
John's,
Grandpa, why are you hitting on those ladies? I know what the ladies like.
I know what the ladies
Be
like.
like, wow, you clearly played too much Halo.
Yeah.
You think they'll still be playing Halo back, in those days?
I love these retro games that no one talks about anymore.
Oh, shut
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
They're still
I'm pretty sure they'll
They're still playing Doom, for God's sakes. They'll be playing Halo in 10
Yeah,
years.
Doom is good though.
You're gonna have grandchildren in 10 years.
I don't know, maybe. Let's...
Because
Wait, did you-
Ethan's like literally like Grandpa Prosser, and then Prosser's
Well,
like,
no,
yeah, we'll
like,
still be playing
okay,
Halo
not-
in 10 years.
not
I'm
in
like,
10
bro,
years.
That's such a low bar
No, like,
for
I-
gaming.
What?
That's such a low
like
bar.
you gotta
'Cause
get
even-
busy
no,
wait,
so
no, wait a
quick
minute.
Because
No,
even
wait.
to
Doom was
have
like 30
grandkids
years
in
ago.
10 years.
Okay.
Or you gotta start adopting people.
In 50 years, they'll still be playing Halo.
You could have said 30. That would have been a perfectly viable number.
For grandkids?
Yeah, you'd be 60.
I guess, yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
wrap your head around that.
but you see, Halo is at rated M for mature game, and I want to make sure they're the proper age to play the game.
So 8.
So 8, yes.
Yeah, 9. That's
when did
pretty
I play
solid.
Halo?
Yeah.
I was like
Yeah.
11,
Oh, we're talking about Doom.
12. Doom?
Yeah,
Well, I played Doom 3 around the same time.
classic Doom. First Doom.
Classic Doom, it was a little after that. Around 13, 14.
Wait, you played classic Doom after Doom 3?
Yeah, Doom 3 was my first Doom game.
I thought you played Doom with your dad.
I played Doom 3 with my dad. I played Wolfenstein, the first one, with my dad.
Ah, Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Cool.
What a fantastic game.
I'm just saying that, specifically speaking, Doom is a better franchise than Halo.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. Like,
I'm saying that to him because he's going to agree with me. I don't actually believe that. I don't believe either, really. I think both are good franchises, but I don't think they're the best by any mean.
I mean, currently, Doom 2016, Doom Eternal is the best 1-2 punch in gaming history.
I'm not, well, on your opinion, yes.
In many people's opinions.
That's fair.
Best shooters of the decade.
But no, I think I just wanted to win that argument, and I knew whose side to pick.
There was an argument. I
didn't think it was
in an argument.
To be fair, I thought we
yeah.
were just stating
Here's
facts here.
well, that's the thing. Here's how I killed the argument before it started. Because I know you're a Halo fan. I've never played the game. He likes both Halo and Doom. So whatever I refer to for him, he'd be the tiebreaker, and therefore would win. And I knew he wouldn't pick Doom over Halo.
Oh, interesting.
Depends
you
on
were
the day.
playing like 4D chess, man, and I'm just here in a box.
Like
Can't
five,
even-
like 5D.
Get out of here.
Yep,
Get
Matt's a
out.
2D character in a 3D world.
It's
Yeah, exactly.
3D.
I don't know. I'm just here in a box, guys. I got stuck in a box, so like
It's good.
obviously I can't compete on that level of mental warfare. So,
It's
got me a
all
break.
good. All good. But yes,
Oh,
but
man.
yes, you were gonna do a segue with the Zune.
Oh yes, so complete.
Speaking of Zoom,
Speaking of Zune, Zune is gonna be a prop in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie.
Wow!
And you know what I really
Is
want to
it?
talk about?
oh yeah, he had a Zoom.
Yeah, we should talk about props. Nothing to do with Guardians 3. Just let's talk about props. today.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I've
quite
been
a bit.
thinking a lot about props. I don't know what, but I've been thinking a lot about movie props and just how
awesome
great,
they
how
are.
great they are.
Well,
Yes.
because they're just fun. Like, a good prop can make or break a movie, and that sounds really weird to say. But
No,
like,
it's 100% right. Because
Yeah.
if you have just something that looks terrible, or if you've reused a prop from another franchise and people recognize it, it's usually it takes you out of that. right?
100%. Well, like in They Live, there's the one scene where like the aliens are using the
Yeah,
the Ghostbusters ghost detector. They're using the Ghostbusters ghost detector as like a communicator. I'm like, that's from Ghostbusters.
well, that's one of the most
Wait,
used.
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm listening. I just had to grab my phone.
Oh, of
And I was
course.
like, I'll just be stealthy. Then I was like, I'm on camera.
Oh,
in a
they
box.
see me.
There's video.
It's like, oh yeah, it's not just audio.
Not just audio.
So yeah, just ignore me.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. It was just really funny. You just see you look. It's like, where's he going?
What's Matt doing?
And then I was like, oh damn, on camera.
They caught me.
I kind of forgot.
I've been framed.
Guilty. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
So I guess
Yes.
question for you guys: what's your favorite movie prop? Like, what if you think about movies and you think about props? Matt, I think I know the answer to yours probably because I'm not gonna guess it, but I think I know what it is.
Oh yeah. I want you to guess. You might be right.
If I
might
had
be
to
wrong.
guess, it's probably a lightsaber. Like lightsabers are probably your favorite movie props.
I definitely was not thinking that at all.
Oh, really? That's shocking.
Definitely not
I
at all.
see
I
that.
can't tell if you're being
Nope.
sarcastic or not.
Nope. Definitely wasn't thinking that at
He sure
all.
is shifting his eyes around a lot.
See, that's what I.
Yeah, it's
there's
hard. Oh yeah, so like
See
the way
that?
we had to just set up the camera, there's like a little bit of stuttering. So
Yep.
it's like you probably can't tell the subtle movements.
But the
just like,
I legitimately.
yeah.
I legitimately
No.
thought that's why you were like leaning over, as you were going to grab a lightsaber, and I'm like, oh my god, man is so prepared for this.
This is it.
Like, let's go. Come on. Oh, I wish. Okay, yes, fair, guilty as charged. Obviously, like the lightsabers are like when you start talking about movie props, I'm thinking lightsabers. So
Of
I knew
course.
you were gonna guess that right away because that's obvious. It's like
It's one of the best of all time.
it's one of the best of all times, right? And it's so iconic, and it obviously comes in so many different forms. Like, and it's just there's something about the
So
lightsaber that's just so fascinating and like really, I don't know, it just sparks the imagination, right? Like it's so, and it's weird to think like were laser swords a thing before Star Wars? Because
Yep.
now you think of like generic laser swords all the time, but I'm like, what was it really a thing before? I don't know.
They were, but then they were overtaken by like they were
I
not
was like,
great. They
laser
weren't
swords
good.
were a thing
Yeah.
before, but then lightsabers, because I think specifically called it a lightsaber because he couldn't use laser sword or something like that.
No,
Oh, yeah.
most people call things laser swords because they can't be called lightsabers.
So
Because
it's like-
lightsaber is trademarked.
Right? Yeah.
It's a chicken before the egg thing. Makes
But
sense.
it's a better name than laser sword in my opinion.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
It feels
100%.
feels
It's way
more
better.
feels more
It's way
mythic
better.
at the end of the day. Laser sword sounds like
Stereotypical sci-fi.
Buck Rogers and or like any of those ones, right?
I'm gonna look
Yeah.
with this.
I just you know, I love the lightsaber. Like all the different hilt designs, the different colors. Like it's just it's absolutely great. And the sound, like the audio design for the lightsaber too, is incredibly iconic, right? Like that's one of the things that's like very defining, especially from other types of laser swords or those types of things, is the sound of a lightsaber. Like when you hear it turn on, you hear the or like in the hum.
Oh yeah, like from
Like when it goes back in, like you know those sounds. When you hear that, you know exactly what it is. Like there's no messing that up.
yeah. Well, and there's a reason why lightsabers have stood the test of time, why they are so popular, is because like any kid who watched Star Wars and like really enjoyed it, you know, the next day when they walk outside and find a stick, they're going. Vroom,
It's a
vroom,
lightsaber,
vroom.
yeah,
Like
100%.
yeah, 100%.
100%.
Because in your brain, you're like, oh man, yeah, this is totally. Or you grab the broom out of your like,
Yeah.
out of the utility closet, you're like, vroom, 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 and then you break something on the wall, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, exactly. And
Like,
and the
I-
prop work, actual like the props for the movies themselves throughout like the history of Star Wars has continued to like change and evolve
Yeah.
with the times, like how they actually capture the lightsaber, and like what they choose to do with the lighting. Because it was like for a while just a stick, like I think it was a metal rod. Then they made lighter ones so they could do like a lot of the more acrobatic stuff in the prequels. And then with like the newer trilogy too, they're using ones that actually lit up as well.
Yeah,
So
for
you
that
actually have
on-
the light from the prop
on set
shining
lighting,
on-
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So I thought-
100%.
just
So-
like how they like design the props themselves, like physically for the films, is also a really interesting aspect of the lightsaber. And I think
No, agreed.
So
it's really fun.
Looking it up, it looks as
Really
though
cool.
it might be lightsabers were the first energy kind of weapon.
Really?
Maybe there was a like, it was difficult to find because there's reference to like a laser knife of some kind in an Isaac Asimov book way back in the day.
So I would have thought that like something like Dune
But-
would have had something like that before.
Well, that's where I need to do more research and not on just my phone. But
Of
like,
course, yeah.
So it's a resounding maybe. Star Wars might be the first film depiction of that kind of technology, which honestly explains a lot because there's a lot of other sci-fis that just have like swords,
Yep.
like just because.
You're
But at
not
the end of
Yeah,
the day,
and
I'm kind of
I just I keep punching my mic. Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of okay with that though because like for me it's again it separates Star Wars from other types of sci-fi,
yeah.
right?
100%. Well, and it's the ultimate merger of like the lightsaber is one of the perfect representations of that merger of science fiction and fantasy because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a sword, but it's also a laser and a piece of technology. It's got that mythic King Arthur type aspect to it, but it's also a piece of like the future. Like it's got that nice mix of the two.
Do you
100%. It's one of those things like in Star Wars that really bridges, I would say, like our reality and their reality. Like makes, because I think like the great thing about Star Wars too is like it's familiar yet it's so alien yet it's so different yet it's like way more advanced. But everything feels so familiar from the characters to the themes. But even like the weaponry, right? Like everyone knows what a sword is. Like that's such an iconic part of our history as human beings, like in our reality. So
Yeah.
then to like take that to the next level and make it a energy sword, it's like, well, yeah, that's a perfect again example of a bridge between our reality and this fantasy world that they want to bring us into. Something we can recognize, connect with, but yet blows our mind and like takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that other sci-fi shouldn't have lightsabers or laser swords in them? Like, obviously not the specific design of a lightsaber,
Not necessarily, but like actually talking about Halo again. In Halo, they've got the energy sword.
And that's
which
such
is,
a specific design that I
Yeah.
don't think I've seen anyone ever mistake it for a lightsaber.
no, 100%.
No.
It's similar idea and
It
concept.
low key kind of looks like the He-Man sword with in lightsaber form.
Yeah,
Like low key.
and it's like it looks very alien because it's an alien weapon, but it's still got that recognizable sword.
Incredibly practical.
100%.
And I think lightsabers really have cornered the market as far as like classical energy swords go. I think to bring another energy sword into sci-fi, you have to do that. You have to make something that's so incredibly different and
Yeah.
iconic in its own right. All right, like the Halo energy sword is iconic in its own right from its shape and design and just how it works.
Well, and that's where
It
when
it really makes it tough to create a new design that's not going to be like, wow, you just ripped off the lightsaber.
when I think that's
Now
where,
your
I don't
movie
really
is just
get,
cheap Star Wars, right? Like,
I think that's where I really don't get hyped over the dark saber like everyone else does, because to me the dark saber looks like, because I've seen other energy swords in other mediums, and the dark saber seems like something I have 100% seen before, right? As soon as you give it that flat kind of blade,
yeah,
then that, like the uniqueness of the lightsaber is the fact that the blade is round.
Yeah.
That it's literally just a beam of light. Whereas as soon as you make it a blade, it's like, okay, what's the purpose of having that blade shape? Since a lightsaber doesn't actually like the
again,
lightsaber isn't dependent on it being sharp.
Well, it's specific. I mean, like honestly, it kind of makes the dark saber a bit more mythical than the lightsaber does in a lot of ways because it has that very distinct shape.
Yeah, design wise, yes, it does look. Yes, I'm talking
in the
practicality
universe,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, practicality.
In universe, it doesn't make sense for it to be shaped like
Well,
that.
it's just in universe, it could literally just have the same type of blade. Like giving it that distinct look does give it that very like. It turns it into a more unique prop and like gives it more significance within the lore of Mandalore when you make it something specific, separate from the Jedi, but not quite Mandalorian. Like again, it's,
it like for
the
me,
combination of the two, yeah.
for me, it just doesn't hype me up because again,
Right.
it's like it doesn't quite feel like a lightsaber, and it feels more fragile than a lightsaber to me. Like it just feels not as strong. But that's my feelings on it. It's still cool and it's still awesome, but like I feel the awesomeness comes from the fact of that it's like a reverse lightsaber where it's like it's got the darkness on, the inside, and then it's
light on the outside.
Yeah.
which
and
I mean that's pretty awesome. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like,
I
and I
think
guess that's what makes it a successful prop, though, is because of specifically your reaction and your reaction, where it's like,
it's
Well,
it's just badass.
Like, when it comes
like,
to it is very badass. Like in the design, I think it's pretty cool and unique in the universe. But I think what makes it more interesting, it's not necessarily the design itself. Like I'm not gonna be ranking the Darksaber as one of my top lightsabers. Like if I had to rank lightsabers, the Darksaber doesn't even crack the top 10 for me. Like it's
top
okay.
5 for me.
The design is unique, it's interesting, but it's okay. What's interesting about it and what gets me excited is just the narrative potential it has, like what the actual meaning within the lore of
Right.
that item. And
No,
that's
that's
what
fair.
makes it really unique, right? And I think that's why it has the unique design, because it holds a special place within the lore of Star Wars and Mandalore.
Right.
all right, Matt, what's
Like
your
if
top
you were
5
doing a
lightsabers?
Mandalorian show, the Darksaber wouldn't make any sense to show up, right? Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that interesting. But
Yeah.
in the right story, in the right context, then it becomes an interesting prop.
What's your top 5 lightsabers, Matt?
Oh man, that's tough. Okay, gotta go with I gotta go with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
have to be in any order? These are just like top
Yes,
5.
yeah, put them
Probably.
in your top 5 order, 1 to
Like-
5.
Okay, well, I'm a sucker for Obi-Wan as a character, so his lightsaber has always stood out to me. The episode 3 one that more resembles Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
like that kind of design. Then I'd have to go with like Darth Maul. I think like you got the double blade there. It's classic. You got to go with. Then I'd probably go with like Count Dooku. I like the curvature of it.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
like a really like kind
That's
of.
one of my
like
top
the
5 too.
design. Yeah, it's really interesting. Then I would go with probably Mace Windu. Right, you got the purple blade in there. Very sleek. You got the gold in the hilt as well. And then probably Let's see. I think I did 4 already, right?
Yep, you're on your fifth one.
5. I would probably go with Darth Vader. I like a good like the Darth Vader lightsaber, which is very close to Anakin's, but it's got like those really the black accents with the red blade.
Yeah.
Looks tight. And like the lightsaber they use for like all the sequel trilogy, like Anakin's Episode 3 one, not even close to my favorite. Like I just
No,
it's okay,
they're
but I'm so
clunky.
tired of it to be honest. Like I'm just like
It's
bro.
it's a clunky
Give it a
design, and
rest.
it's the same problem that I have with the Darth Vader one. Is like, especially the bottom column piece is
Yeah.
just
Oh
so,
yeah.
But
I get
again,
ya.
the whole concept with those original lightsabers was they were these like big hunks that like they needed to be that big to contain the energy, and that was kind of like Lucas's original concept, and then it got kind of changed as
I mean,
time went on.
Obi-Wan's it was pretty small.
Yeah, but I think in the original idea they were
Oh.
meant to be heavy. You know.
Oh, I need to look into that
What's that?
because we have Obi-Wan's or we have Luke or Anakin's lightsaber in Episode 4 and Darth Vader's lightsaber in Episode 4.
Yeah.
And are they the exact same? Like, are they the same design?
Slightly. Darth Vader's design, I believe, in Episode 4, because I think in Episode like 5 and 6, it goes to that more where it's kind of like it curves and then kind of goes up. Where I think in Episode 4, it is still that standard, like kind of just has the tilt and like the big black head, or I might be mixing the two up.
Well, because
But his Episode 4 lightsaber, I think, resembles more Anakin's Episode 2 lightsaber. Like before it kind of gets a little wavy. Like it's just literally a normal kind of, I don't know, like the top piece or whatever, and then it just has a slant in it, right? Like it
'Cause
just
I'm just-
slants
yeah.
down.
I'm thinking
But
from
it
a
doesn't have the
storytelling
weird things off the back.
from
It's
a
so hard to
storytelling
explain.
perspective. I think it's kind of like
I need to draw that on my whiteboard. I got a whiteboard. Why am I not drawing this right now? Anyway.
I feel like it's really interesting from a story perspective, though, if they look incredibly similar, because that could arguably be the first like hint that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. And
Because I want to say from like the like halfway up, it's very similar to.
No, they even have the
it's like
same.
the bottom 2/3 are like exactly the same.
Yeah,
It's
Okay.
it's that last piece at the top that I think, because they
Okay.
both kind of have the same thing. They both have that same baseline.
Now, do I
It's
think
just
that was?
top part.
Do I think that was intentional? Probably not. Is it probably because it's the same prop builder? More than likely,
and they knew
that's why the
exactly where to get
similarities.
those particular parts to
Yeah.
build a lightsaber.
Exactly, and that's probably closer to what it is. But like, that's just a really cool concept when I think about it. Is the fact that
Yeah.
like they would probably have the exact same style to it because it's the same fighter.
Yeah.
See,
Makes
I
sense to
would
me.
have thrown Qui-Gon in my top 5.
Yeah.
Oh, let me just bring this over here. I'm gonna just take a look at these lightsaber designs while you guys talk about too.
All right.
You know what, Qui-Gon was like. Oh, that's a hard one too, because I liked Qui-Gon's as well.
It's a simplistic design and really easy to
it's
handle.
Simple. Yeah. I like the simplicity of it.
And then Obi
That was
Wan's
the one I was kind of like
Yeah.
between Dooku and like Qui-Gon. I was like, but then I was like, oh, I kind of like the curve though. I do like the curve. What about you guys? What do you guys as far as like lightsabers and stuff goes?
I mean, like, I've got answers myself, but
Okay, what's your top 5 lightsabers? Go.
Sorry, I'm just trying.
because I really, again, I would throw the dark saber in as one of my favorites.
Is it your top?
It's not my top, no, but like it's up there. Like, I just absolutely love that design, and again, it's got a really cool backstory behind it and everything, which makes it that much cooler. Like, it's got that unique factor to it. I mean, I love Darth Vader's just because, again, like you see you see that red blade and everything, and like how it accents his costume.
I like that you like his design just because of the blade color.
Well, like
Who's
Darth
Sorry, I
Vader's.
wasn't-
well, because
Oh, yeah.
He's
again, like it fits perfectly with him. Like, I guess it's more like I like Darth Vader's lightsaber because I like Darth Vader, but
Makes sense.
like I like the way that one is designed. Kylo Ren's has been a favorite ever since I saw it. Like, and not just
Oh yeah, I forgot about his. Yeah.
because like I absolutely love, like, again, from a narrative perspective, that lightsaber is very similar to like what Kylo's personality was in that first movie, where like it's an incredibly unstable, like, fiery hot thing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's got like the exhaust ports on the side, all that jazz. So, yeah, no, I really like it.
So that's 3.
Yeah, that's 3.
Got Darksaber, Darth Vader, Kylo. And you don't like anyone else's. That's it. That's the
No, like there's others.
He's like, that's all for me.
Like I would also put Dooku's just because again from like that hilt is so slick, and it's got
it is right.
It's got that like kind of fencing sword type feel to it, and again like it works for like Dooku's like gentleman duelist type personality when he fights. Like I love that shit. And then oh jeez, I want to do like a deep cut.
Why do you want to do a deep cut?
For fun.
Just why don't you pick your 5th favorite lightsaber?
Just
You're trying to show up.
like, how about
you're
you
trying
just
to show
pick
off?
that?
So
buddy.
like I've never seen Rebels before, but like Ezra's lightsaber that's also a blaster I think is just a brilliant design.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because you know,
that's
you'd
funny.
be fighting a guy, and then all of a sudden you just shoot him, get the job done.
Nope, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's like it's a blaster in the hilt of the lightsaber, and again, like I just saw that, I'm just like, it's not very civilized, as Obi-Wan would say, but I think it makes a lot of sense, especially like given that they're like narratively in the situation where they're in, where like he's still learning to use the blade and they're on the run and they need the extra firepower. Like,
Fair enough.
I think it makes sense. So I really like that one.
Kanan's is kind of cool too, how it like clicks together. Like he takes it apart and then like just puts the emitter back on the top. That's what's called the emitter.
Yeah, that's not even
trying to
as
think of that
clunky as I thought it was going to be.
Right? Like it's a very, like, again, very unique, and like, again, it makes perfect sense that like a Jedi would not have a blaster in their lightsaber, but for the scenario they're in, it makes perfect sense.
All right, let's see if I can.
I like that you couldn't think of a deep cut, so you.
I mean, it's kind.
I mean, you couldn't think of a 5th lightsaber, so you just picked an obscure thing.
I'm a big fan of the light whips from Shadow of the Empire. I don't even know if they're in Shadow of the Empire. Matt, what are you doing?
I'm trying to show you guys the lightsaber. Okay.
Okay.
So I was like, wait, because I was gonna show you guys, then I was like, wait, no one else can see this, so I'm gonna look ridiculous explaining this. But okay, so like this is like Luke / Anakin's lightsaber, right? This is your episode 3 one. Like it kind of has that little curve in there. This is like the Darth Vader episode 4 one, right? See how it just kind of slants down? But it's identical to the episode 2 Anakin lightsaber, just with the black, more of the black accents.
Interesting.
There's like,
So,
there's subtle
There
differences.
you go. There's
but
your lightsaber history
We got
design.
PowerPoint
That's what I was
up
trying
in
to
this.
say, though. That's what I was trying to talk about. Man, that was a lot of effort for a very small
Well,
point.
we were
Hey,
wondering.
we got it.
like,
We got it figured
Spend
out.
that
Myth
time out.
busted.
Yep.
I'm not have time doing that.
Hey guys, I think Darth Vader
hilarious.
might be Luke's dad. I think he might be.
Spoilers. What if people haven't seen the movie?
Oh my god.
Just ruined it for a whole fan base.
True blue.
Yeah. There you go.
Should feel so bad.
Yeah, I know. How about you guy? Couldn't think of. I was gonna insult him, but I didn't want to swear.
You human being, you.
Qui-Gon's is definitely my top. That's number 1.
Fair.
And then my bottom 4 are General Grievous's lightsabers, 1 for each hand. I can rank them by hand if
To
you
be
guys
fair,
want.
I mean,
To be fair, they do share the pretty much the basic design of like Obi-Wan, Anakin,
They're-
and then the two random like
they're each a
standard
fine
sabers.
addition to his collection.
Exactly, right? They are. Notice how he didn't try
These are
collecting
fine
Dooku's.
additions.
To my collection.
He didn't try to collect any of the ones that you had.
Well, you see. Oh my
My
god.
General Grievous impression.
But yeah, it'd be Qui-Gon's for sure. Obi-Wan's with the ball on the end second.
Yeah, the episode like 1 and 2 one. Yeah.
Yep.
I think I had that one actually. Come to think of it.
Dooku is probably 3 for me. Again, it's just such a unique design. It's something that we didn't see, and it was like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it was
Christopher
cool. Yeah.
Christopher Lee's 3 for 3.
Then
Yeah.
you know what? Yoda's. I like Yoda's. It's a simplistic design, but like it's awesome.
And it's small,
Exactly. It's compact.
mini.
And I never thought I'd see
Travel
one. I
size.
never thought I would see a lightsaber with Yoda. That's just like literally up until episode 2, there was never a point where I'm like, man, I wonder what Yoda's lightsaber looked like. I just thought he'd never had one. And then they're like, no, he did. And it's like, oh, I'm on board
And
for
he
this.
fights. Wow.
Okay, cool.
And he is tiny.
Yeah.
And then Mace Windu's probably 5th.
Fair enough. That
I did like the fact that it's just purple and has like the gold accents looks tight. I'm like,
I
that's a
love
great
the
combination.
backstory of why his lightsaber is purple. Like that's just
Yeah, because Samuel L. Jackson's like, I want a purple lightsaber.
oh, but Sam, there are no purple lightsabers. Instead, I want a purple lightsaber.
No, there was no challenge. There was no real challenge.
Can we swear on this?
There was no real
I can
challenge
believe it.
from George. He was just like, George was just like, well, that's the only 2 colors. And he's like, well, can it be purple? And then he's like,
I
yeah,
guess.
I think we can do that for
Yeah.
you.
You know
Can it
what?
be
Why
purple?
not?
He's like, I don't see a reason why not to. I
But
guess.
then I like how the lore kind of expanded on like why it's purple as well, right?
Yeah,
Where
like it's one of those cases where like the color came before the explanation, but that sometimes that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
100%.
all right, well, I
And
guess
it
that's-
opened the doorway to like way more like exotic and different types of colors and stuff as well.
All right, well, I guess we talked about Star Wars. We can end the podcast there. All right, we'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.
That's
Bye.
it. May the force be with you.
All right, Prosser. So we got Matt's favorite prop. What's yours?
My favorite.
What is your favorite prop? Your number one prop?
That was the original discussion. I was like, what were we
You're
talking
like,
like what we just heard Star Wars and just blanked over.
if there is one prop that you could own, what would it be?
I could own.
I don't even know this question.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess would that be the answer to that question for you, or is that a different question?
I mean, like, yeah, sure. Like, if I
Like,
could
is
have
that
a
the same
lightsaber,
answer,
like,
or is it-
if I could have a real lightsaber, absolutely, I would totally be down for cutting off my arms because we know at one point that would happen, or a leg,
yeah,
or something.
Or all 4?
or all three.
Or all 4.
All
just
3.
don't learn your don't learn your lesson. Like, just keep going. Like, oh yeah, I can handle this. But like, or just even a prop. Like those props are really slick. too.
Prosser's worried about you cutting off your 3rd leg.
apparently.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Yeah, no, I mean, I think just in
Good
general,
night,
like, that'd
everybody.
just be a cool prop to have. Yeah, I can't think of like any off the top of my head that'd be like, oh, I'd really like to have like a. I'm assuming you mean replica, but
Right.
or real
Yeah.
prop. The real prop that would be
Man.
cool.
Because, like, it's really bad, but most of the props that are coming to mind are, like, movie guns.
That's fair. That's fine.
Like,
Also, I'm going to limit it to handheld because I think vehicle props is a whole different
well, that's,
conversation.
yeah,
Prop-
like,
prop
movie
is-
vehicles, like, because
Also, the ring of power. The ring of power. That would be a cool one.
yeah, like, I mean, oh, shit.
So
man.
we'll start with handheld. We'll move into that.
Yeah, of
so
course.
handheld prop. What's your favorite one? Oh, let me guess. The Doom rifle, the double barrel,
The rifle.
the shotgun.
Oh
Shut up.
my god. It hasn't even. It hasn't
I
even.
was like,
hasn't
I have
even
no
been
idea
in
what
a
gun he's
movie.
talking about.
It hasn't even been in a movie.
The double barrel has been in a movie.
Yeah, but it was a bad movie.
It's still in a movie.
I don't care. It was bad. It was on screen for like 2
That
seconds.
doesn't exclude it from existing in a
It was
movie.
on for exactly as many barrels as it had.
It's still in the movie. You can still choose that one.
Annihilation was bad. I don't care. So I try not to be
See,
negative.
nobody cares.
I try not to be negative on our show, but it was bad.
We're gonna talk about Doom Annihilation someday, kids.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Get
but-
you blacklisted from the industry.
Oh, apparently.
So many people watching this.
Yeah. It was fine. I got over it, but
Did you? It doesn't seem like you did.
no, but that's not. Anyway,
He's like, I'm over it. I don't care. But seriously, guys, I don't.
Oh, is it
but
the
I'm over
alien
it.
pulse rifle?
no, actually, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Is it?
Yeah, I freaking love the pulse rifle and the smart gun from Aliens are both just amazing props.
Before or
they're
after
really cool.
Ripley's mod to it?
Ripley's mod, like that's I mean the flamethrower is awesome too, and then like duct taping it on, like that just makes it more awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty epic. Yeah.
Actually, that was one of the things I'll talk about more things I don't like. In Aliens Colonial Marines, the game, if you pre-ordered it, you got a code for Ripley's pulse rifle that had the flamethrower duct
Yeah, I
taped
remember you
on the
talking to
side.
me about that.
And I was so excited, and then I played the game. But the point is, the pulse rifle.
I think the game was terrible. I don't
I
don't have any sources.
You liked
for
the
that.
story, didn't you?
No, I hated the story.
Which was the Alien game with the story you liked?
No, it was Alien Fire Team. The new one that came out was
also
actually
Alien
quite good.
vs. Predator.
Alien vs. Predator, Alien Isolation, also very good. That one's like really good. That game's so good I haven't even beaten it yet.
I thought you had a positive thing to say about Colonial Marines, and I can't remember what
It had
was.
really cool new alien designs, and some of the new weapons they made for the universe also looked cool because they followed that very similar design philosophy.
And they got actors back.
Yeah, Michael Bean got a paycheck, and so did Lance Henriksen, which I'm very happy about. I'm not salty at all, ladies and gentlemen. But the pulse, like legitimately though, the pulse rifle,
How much do you like this pulse rifle?
quite a bit.
As in, like, buying 2 pulse rifle replicas?
I might have pre-ordered 2 pulse rifle Nerf guns that are coming out for the 35th anniversary of Aliens. But that's not.
Why are you getting... No, why are you getting 2?
Well, because
That's
see,
pretty cool.
well, you see, I want to paint one to look like the movie,
Because for
so I
some
can have a
reason...
movie accurate one, and I can keep one normal.
Because for some reason
Yeah.
they're releasing these replicas, but not making it an exact replica.
Well, no, they can't make it look like the real pulse rifle. People might think it's a real gun, Ethan.
Yeah, they gotta nerf it up. Yeah.
It's Nerf or nothing, Ethan. I thought you knew this.
No, I don't, apparently.
You remember those like Nerf war guns we used to? Those Nerf war guns, those Nerf gun wars that
yeah.
we used to
It's
like in high
Nerf
school.
or nothing.
Yeah.
Great. That was awesome.
Oh, trust me, we brought that over into college, man.
Yep. Well, with
Yeah,
the
that was dope.
and then there was Nerf zombies. That was
I never
really
played
fun.
that.
It was good.
I concocted an idea for a Nerf grenade, though.
Yeah,
That would have been perfect.
indeed. But anyways, the pulse rifle is fantastic because just the way they went about like creating the guns for aliens were like all of them were based on real weapons that exist. And for the pulse rifle, literally they took an old World War II Thompson machine gun and then the Spaz 12 pump action shotgun. They bolted them together and then they put plastic parts over top to like merge the two. But it's got this like really cohesive design that just it feels like a real weapon that like a military would use. And that's kind of the thing I love about a lot of the stuff within the Alien universe is it's all very like everything within those movies feels like something that could really exist. At least when you're talking about those first 3 movies, and even I would say
Well,
Resurrection follows that design philosophy.
I think that's the difference between, like, modern movie prop guns versus, like, what they used to do. Because most modern prop guns are just Nerf guns painted. Like,
That's what it feels like.
well, they've been caught quite a few times, hasn't it? For, like, TV shows and stuff where it's
TV
like,
shows in the background, yeah, a lot of them like they'll use like for science fiction shows they'll use like painted Nerf guns sometimes because
Oh,
again
yeah.
it's in the background, so it's like you can kind of get away with it.
yeah.
I don't think there's been a case of like a hero prop being a Nerf gun in a show. I could
wasn't
be
there
wrong.
some in, like one of Alex English's favorite,
Terra.
was it Terra Nova?
Terra Nova, yeah, one of the soldiers was using a painted Nerf gun that he
That seems like a show that would have
He
a painted
owned
Nerf
the same
gun.
Nerf gun.
Yeah, he's like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
I recognize that.
I already have a movie prop. Yeah.
But, like, modern sci-fi
Ow.
weapons,
Damn.
You okay?
Yeah, I just
he
hit
hurt
my
himself.
elbow. Just got too excited.
Apparently.
But yeah, like, I don't feel like there's modern gun, like, in sci-fi they don't feel the same as they did.
Well, like a lot of the times now, like especially with 3D printers and that kind of thing, you could make a gun that looks any way you want and like design the computer
Yeah.
and print it off. Like that's
That's
actually
really
a lot
true,
of for the Suicide Squad. That's how a lot of Bloodsport's guns felt like. A lot of them felt like they were like kind of that 3D printed type of like the gun could look like any way you want because again that the way his guns work, that's kind of how it is. You can make it look any way he wants. But back in the day, they like a lot of science fiction guns are basically just like real guns that are dressed up a bit to make them look more futuristic. Actually, Stargate, the TV show, notoriously, they use the P90 machine gun. That's like the weird one that's got like the circle handles and like it loads from the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it looks very futuristic, but it's just a regular old submachine gun with a funny design, but it looks like a futuristic gun, and they're reasonably affordable to make into props. So like, hey, these are our sci-fi guns.
They
Fair
work.
enough.
They work, right?
And I think, sorry, like go ahead. I'll shut up. It's your turn. I'll shut up.
I was just gonna bring up RoboCop's gun because people were like, "Oh my god, that gun's excessive." Like that's a real gun. That's a real pistol. The pistol from I Come in Peace, like that, the one the alien has.
Yep.
That's a real gun too. It doesn't really shoot explosive ammunition like in the movie, but that's a real.
Well, yeah.
That's a real pistol with like a weird like tube magazine.
What about Dredd's gun?
Oh, Dreads, they designed that. Like it's built
Is
off
it
of
based off the game or like the game, the books or no?
It's based off of the Mark II version of the Lawgiver pistol from the comics, and in real life they built it off of the Glock 19, and then they built on top of it.
Your gun knowledge should terrify me, but like because I know you and because I feel safer living with you about it because I know what's in the house.
That's fair.
I feel safe because I know that you don't have access to any of this stuff. So I'm not really scared. But your knowledge is borderline.
Just wait till those Nerf guns show up, Ethan. That's gonna be.
Oh no, I got him cased.
It's gonna be great.
Be trouble.
I'm very excited.
Oh no, I got him covered.
It's got an ammo counter and everything.
I got my big gun. I got myself covered. I'll be fine.
Also with
And I'm more accurate than he is anyway.
How dare you?
Was it you I shot in the eye from across the room? Or was that Alex?
I think you shot Alex from across the room.
I hit someone. I wasn't even aiming. I just kind of pointed it and it just.
But the other one from
Those
Aliens,
are the best ones.
Exactly.
the smart gun, like the big, the turret one that they carry around.
That's the unique sound.
Well, the like I can't even make it, but like it's got that like cool. Yeah, it plays Sandstorm. But that one is
Best prop ever.
but that one is they took a German M42 machine gun and they put it onto a Steadicam mount, like the actual like Steadicam thing, and they incorporate it into the costumes for the smart gunners because that's the only way they'd actually be able to carry those things. And then they used motorcycle parts for like the triggers and the rails and things like that.
And this is why you should be in props. You have too
Like,
much knowledge.
It looks so cool and it feels real.
Literally just gonna say, like, I'm so impressed of like your prop knowledge, not just like general prop knowledge, but like gun prop knowledge from like movies from apparently all across time. You're like, this is how they made this happen, and this sound, and this one's a real gun.
I know
but
too
this
much.
is how they take this shit together. They just MacGyvered that shit, and like, I'm
Well,
like,
half-
that's so.
well,
I'm
half
just,
the time,
I just gotta
it's
say,
like-
man, like, I'm so impressed, and I
Well,
think
that's why
that's
a lot
such
of times when
that's
I
such a
have-
cool knowledge base to have.
A lot of
Love
times
it,
when I
man.
have like effects questions, I'll ask him. It's like, okay, so like, what kind of props could they have built, or how could they have done this
Yeah.
effect?
I
Because
love
there's
it.
like, there's so much I can figure out, but then like, especially having that second brain that has that
Like a
vast
dinosaur.
knowledge.
They're like a specialty in that, yeah.
really old.
No, two braids like a dinosaur.
Dinosaurs don't have two brains.
They do it in Godzilla.
It's the topless.
Everybody.
Anyway,
Anyways,
but no, but it's really cool to have
Matt's
that. Like,
just so confused.
it's
What
fine.
is happening?
I'll
I
tell
need
you.
an extra
we've-
brain just to understand what you guys are talking about.
Oh no,
here.
we've
I'll tell
come
you
to
when you're
realize-
older.
We have come to realize there are so many jokes and so many references that we make that, like, especially when it's just the two of us around, that no one else would know what the heck we're talking about, but we think it's hilarious. Like, I think last week we spent like a half an hour with me pretending to be the Joker's lawyer, and he was playing Jack
Oh, yeah,
Nicholson's
yeah.
the Joker. And
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like, we thought it was the funniest thing. We tried explaining it to someone else, and they were just like, oh yeah, okay. And, like,
that makes sense.
like,
There was something else a couple nights
That's
ago,
funny,
like
yeah.
that
That's
was
funny.
right before,
That's pretty funny.
like right before we both like went to bed. We were just like standing in the hallway and just like we were, what the heck was we were joking about something, And we both had that moment halfway through joking. We're like, wow, if anyone else was here, they'd just look at us like, because we were just quoting things and like random stuff with zero context that we thought were hilarious. And if there was a third person there, they'd just be like, what's wrong with the two of you? Because
Like,
what you're not making
you guys
sense.
you guys get some
I
problems.
legit can't remember.
I can't either,
You
but
guys
it
can't
happens a
remember.
lot. It's really weird. So like again, having that second brain that understands where you're coming from and then has this extra knowledge, because like I think we're both knowledgeable in film, but in very different areas in different ways.
Well, different specialties, right? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and there's so much that goes into film, right? Like, it's just,
100%.
I'm gonna tell you guys.
Enough for a
You guys
whole
know.
enough for a whole podcast even.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Enough
listen,
that we had,
I
we had
just
all
show
our-
up and be like, I'm black and I like movies, and like, you guys are the smart people. Like, I'm just here to add some extra color, and
Little-
I love movies.
Some color
Well, actually,
commentary.
I guess we started first, then Prosser showed
A
up.
little bit of coffee.
I
in
think
your-
my role in this whole podcast has always been the same.
a little bit of coffee in your ice cream, you know.
You got the nerd,
Yeah.
you got the cool, you got the looks. I mean, hey,
I guess.
Yeah, I'm ugly as hell, man. Just
And I'm going bold.
which is why I'm
Thanks,
the
me
looks.
Dad.
too. That's why I wear it too. Not
Look, I'm not
quite
I'm
at
not the
your
looks
rate,
because of how I look. I'm the looks because of how you two look.
Okay, yeah, that makes.
Somehow I managed to insult all
There's
three of us there.
There's that 4D chess again, man, and I'm just in
It
my
all
damn
make-
box.
It all makes sense
needing
now.
a second brain to understand anything.
Yes, but Matt, you're also again. Here's a reminder though. When it comes to looks, you're married with kids. So I mean, hey,
Oh yeah.
I think that's more proof than.
I don't know if you need looks to do that, but you know, we'll take it.
That's what I tell myself, so I feel better.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's just he's so damn ugly. He married, man. So like I'm in a good
Matt,
spot
you're
right
so.
now.
Matt, I was saying the opposite of that. You're so attractive, but that's
Oh,
how
okay.
you.
I thought you were saying it makes you feel better because you're like he's so
Damn it.
ugly. He married with kids.
Matt,
'Cause he
take
had no
the
other choice.
take
He said,
the
"Dude,
damn
Take the
compliment.
no, I don't want to. Going back to your talking about like the guns and like the props and stuff. Again, amazed by your knowledge. Like I was like, wow, that's crazy that you know all that. That's awesome. One of the things too that I think differentiates nowadays props and like guns, especially gun design, and back then is the use of CGI and like how much stuff they add. So, like again, you're using the what was that Bloodsport, right? Like all
Yeah.
his guns, like a lot of that was just CGI design, like how they're moving and stuff, right? But like back then, you didn't have that option. So again, it's one of those practical crafts that you had to. You
No,
just had to
exactly.
find a way to do it because there was no other option. And I think some of the best designs and like the most creative solutions came out of that time when you couldn't just design it and put it on a computer, you know? And not, you know, not I'm not hating on CGI or anything like
Oh,
that.
of course, it's
It's
a different beast
It's
entirely.
just different, right? And we feel that in the movies, like even like texturally, things feel different. We've had this conversation on the podcast before, I think. Anyway, between CGI and practical,
Yep.
it was probably about Star Wars half the time too. But like, yeah, it's the same thing, man. I think that's probably plays a big impact because just how you were talking about how they're designing guns, it's like that's so cool. And I don't know if they exactly do that kind of stuff nowadays anymore.
There's like I
they
said, there's little
don't
instances
necessarily
of
have
it here or there.
It
like
really depends on the production. Depends on the amount of money that they have, and what they
Budget
can
and
throw
stuff,
at it.
yeah.
I mean,
like-
shit, man. Like in the trailer for the new Halo TV show, there's literally a dude rocking an AK-47 with some sci-fi parts on it.
Yeah, I heard
So,
that.
like,
I
It's good to
I
know
haven't
they're
actually,
still
like,
using.
examined the trailer.
So it's good to know they're still using AK-47s 500 years in the future.
Does that mean
Yeah,
Russia
yeah.
exists in the future?
Oh my god! I mean,
Oh my god, it's not even on a different planet, it's on Earth. It's Russia.
Well, those guns had to go somewhere.
yep. Ship them off to space.
That's true.
Makes
The
perfect
last
sense.
place that capitalism will never reach.
Space.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like the next
Good
place
old-
capitalism will reach.
I mean, that's
Space is gonna be so capitalized.
I guess the game Outer Worlds is like, what if space but capitalism? And that's pretty
Yeah,
much the
like rampant capitalism.
that's the whole premise of the game. It's basically like
Yeah.
if Paul Verhoeven made a game, is Outer Worlds. Still gotta play it.
I'm like, I feel like that's a true thing. I feel like that's
100%, man.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like,
So out of all the guns and gun parts that you've listed, what's your favorite?
pulse rifle. Like, it's got like the design, like the sound design for it is like meaty and awesome. It's like it's a grenade launcher and a machine gun all in one. It's got like the cool friggin' like ammo counter that's like, again, like they show the ammo counter and you're like, oh my god, they're running out of bullets and the aliens are still coming. Like, just like,
Yeah.
again, how they use that within the story, it has a lot of utility and a lot of cinematic value. That's why they keep bringing it back. That's why it's such a staple in all the video games. Like, it's weird when you make an alien game that doesn't have the pulse rifle, unless, of course, it's, you know, Alien Isolation, where it's like, if you had the pulse rifle, it's no longer a horror game. You're just murdering all the aliens. But it's like, it's just from a, just like the way they made it to how it's used in the movie to like its iconography. I love that gun. The only other one I would bring up, not a gun, but like we're still a weapon. I know we're talking a lot of weapons on this, but like again,
Oh, don't worry. I'll try and break that curve.
It's a pretty classic prop, yeah.
but every single Rambo movie, even Rambo 5, I love all the different knives in them
Yeah.
because they all kind of are a different. They all kind of represent the movie that they're in a lot of ways.
Would that include his Rambo knife that's in Expendables?
Well, that one's like, again, that's another cool one. Like
Because
Gil-
it's essentially a Rambo. Like,
yeah, basically, like I think it's called the Toothpick. It's like Gil Hibbins. I can't remember the company that makes it, but then there's also like the giant ass Bowie knife that Dolph Lundgren has, where it's like this freaking big. But of course, Dolph Lundgren's holding it, so it looks like a regular knife.
yeah.
But like that's also really cool because again, like somebody had to like forge that, like make that knife for the movie and forge it. And It's got that unique design. It's not just like a knife you pick up at like a mall knife shop or whatever. Like somebody designed that for the movie, and they've got these really cool designs. And like especially like in the fourth one, the like it looks like something that he would have been able to make on his own with like scrap metal he had drugged up from like the river that he works on, you know?
Yeah.
Like it looks really mean and rough and it reflects the movie. Like and
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day that's a really good prop. Isn't just you could just make like a cool prop and it could be like the iconography doesn't necessarily come from it being cool looking. It comes from the way it's incorporated into the story and what it reflects on the character as well, you know?
Yeah.
And how it flows, like how it works with the character and how it's used in the story. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, because like if the pulse rifle is just like a thing in the background that like never got used, and like, oh, that's an interesting thing. I really wish we saw how that worked. So yeah, that's my little takeaway on that one. Like, yeah, pulse rifle's just awesome. How about you, Ethan?
At the for me it's tricky. It's tricky because movie weapons are really cool. And like a big shout out to like probably my favorite movie weapons and like movie props in general, like the best that I think are ever made are the ones that were made for Lord of the Rings, because like
Yep.
the amount of detail that was put into that. But I can say the same thing about special effects, costuming,
Yeah.
everything like that. So it's not really a fair.
The amount of care put in, yeah.
It's not a fair fight when it's like, oh yeah, clearly those. What's up?
There's one more I remembered that I really like. It's only in one scene in the movie, but and it's not a weapon. It's not a weapon. It's the Void Comp machine in Blade Runner. Like the little device that he has, like folds out and it like zooms in on the eye and stuff like that. Like it's just a neat little gadget, but like it's there's all these little like intricate things it can do and all the sounds it makes. Like
You just like it because it opens up your synth mix.
maybe.
It's a good sound and it's a good prop. Like, I can't even argue with you on that.
Yeah, and again, like it facilitates a scene in the film,
And that's
it's
also
memorable.
a good example of sound design make or breaking a prop. Because
Yeah.
even going back to the pulse rifle, the lightsaber, if
Yeah, so it's saying,
any of that stuff didn't have the sound design that was mixed in with that prop,
like
it would be terrible. Like if the pulse rifle just sounded like a machine gun. Yeah, no, it's just that. It just
someone
some
just
guy
going bang, 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 bang.
Or if
That'd be great.
lightsabers had like a metallic sound when they hit each other, like a regular
Yeah,
sword.
yeah,
Right? Like
isn't there
100%.
Is there a movie
yeah.
where that like wasn't it like Flash Gordon or something like like the swords had like energy, but they still sounded like swords when they were hitting each other.
Well, I think they were just swords.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There was a movie we were watching where just like they went to the trouble of like adding that shine to it, but it still just sounded like a sword.
But like that's again, sound design completely makes or breaks a prop.
Yeah.
And that actually leads me into probably like one of my top picks, which like I guess it's a weapon, but it's not really a weapon. But like the proton pack from Ghostbusters.
Oh, hell
is,
yeah.
Like one of the best designed, built.
That is very cool.
Like everything, like even like seeing it again in Afterlife was amazing. Like so that's one of my top picks.
100%. It's good. Afterlife was solid.
Do Muppets count as props?
That's a whole other discussion because technically they're characters.
I know.
Like,
But they're prop characters.
but they're props. But it's not
But
like
they're real.
But they're not like a prop in.
Yeah, but they're also real and exist in the real world.
Yeah, like Kermit. Yeah,
That's a tough one.
Kermit's a real. Actually, yeah, it was that one program you were watching where
Yeah,
like
the props to history.
there was an interview with Gonzo.
Yeah, Gonzo just shows
Not-
up as like a real person in our universe, and that's where it gets muddy because like I'd love to have a replica of Kermit or one of the other Muppets, like an actual puppet replica, not just a stuffed animal. But at the same time, does that count as a prop technically? Like yes, but also.
Well, I guess like you'd have to start going to like, do you consider like the suits for like creature suits? Are they props?
Well, and that's kind of where the
You
semantics
know,
of
like-
like vehicles and stuff like that, because
Yeah.
vehicles are technically,
Right.
And
especially if they're like spaceships in Star Wars or
Yeah.
specific cars like the DeLorean, like technically those would be considered props, but are they considered props? And that's where it gets tricky, and that's where like
you
my
get
answers,
gray areas between different departments because
and that's where my answers just get like really muddy because like my brain just like floods with all this imagery of like these different characters and creature suits as well as these objects, and like I think that's where like props to me usually I consider handheld, you pick up and a character uses.
Yeah, I would say that qualifies. Yeah.
Right? So like I feel like the Muppets don't count, but that would also be like my top pick for like if I could own something, it would be a Muppet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. That's a tough one, man.
It's such a gray area.
That's legitimately tough because like physically on set, like yes, they are props, but like within the story, they are the main characters
being used by
generally,
puppeteers, but they're characters within the story. So,
but like if you didn't have the puppet part, it would just be like
Just
people
be a
with
hand.
hands or like
Well, because
nothing,
then-
you know what I mean. So it's like yes, in a very physical way.
because then it
Yeah,
gets
100%
into
are props.
is Jar Jar Binks a prop? Because he's a fully CGI creature that's puppeteered with CGI, but he's got a voice actor.
No, but the voice actor also played the body.
No, better
But-
example is like Yoda from Episode 1. Or
Yoda, yeah.
From you know what I mean. Like that's probably
Fair enough.
better.
Well, I was trying to
Example,
like
yeah.
draw parallels with like characters that are like fully CGI, and they're like technically
Jar Jar isn't
puppeteered.
fully CGI.
No, but like that's why
He's a
Jar
suit
Jar's
from
Jar
down.
Jar's a bad example. But like the little creatures or what have you, like is that an effect? Is because technically it's similar idea where
I
it's
get
like
what you're
puppet-
going for.
It's
Yeah.
puppeteered in a computer, so it's like, but it's a character within the movie.
Well, no, because you can get props from animated movies as well, though.
that's fair.
Right? You can buy a prop replica of Chip from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
Right? You can buy props from animated films as well.
right.
So like, but are they true props? Because
But
they're
are they
not
really props?
tangible?
Yeah, because they're animated.
But like,
yeah.
but
Just,
you can
just
'cause I
open
can
up
buy,
a whole can of worms of
because
definition here.
I can buy a ceramic lamp from Aladdin, but Aladdin's an animated film, and it's the design from the animated one, not from the live
but
action
it's not
one.
like it's not from the movie because it never physically existed.
No, it is from the movie though. It's a prop replica of,
But it's an animated thing that's now in reality. So like,
but it's still a prop replica.
that's the thing. It's
What is
But
reality?
is
What
it
is real?
Yeah, is it a movie? It's not a prop they use on set though. Like that's what I get what you're saying, Prosser. Yeah.
like,
But there is no set.
there is no set. There
That's
is
like
just
so.
like
In that
there is
case,
no,
like
there is
So
no,
exactly. Yeah.
there is no
so
there
in that
is
case,
no
do I have to
spoon
say
audience.
that like Does that mean for animated films, it's like, I want the art easel of this specific artist?
Yes.
Because that's a prop from the movie? I feel like that's not how it works.
I wish for the hard
Someone
drive.
get me that guy's pencil.
I wish
No,
for
I
the
can't
hard drive of the animator of Woody from.
I was thinking like, oh, well, Spider-Man suit, that's a costume.
That's a costume.
And that's the same
Yeah.
thing with like Universal Monster
Because, like, yeah,
stuff,
is the web shooter a prop,
Web
or is
shooter
it
would be a
part of the
prop.
costume?
the web shooter would be a prop.
Yeah, but it's part of the costume.
Well, and that's where it gets, even talking about film stuff, and like maybe whenever we get Trent on here, he can clarify some of the departments for us. But there is apparently a big issue of what department's going to tackle what thing, because of what constitutes a prop, and set dressing and set
That's
deck
part of the
versus-
whole. When you go through the initial read through of the script, and different departments go through the script, and they make their lists of like what they're handling, and then if multiple departments are saying they are handling, or if none claim it, it's like, okay, well, who's handling this?
And I think the difference is specifically if someone picks it up, if someone handles it, that's a prop. If it's just chilling on the table and no one touches it, then it's set dressing.
Yes, generally speaking, that's how it is. Generally,
But then if it does something weird, is it a special effect or a prop?
that's why it all gets muddled.
Well, because even I'd say, like, arguably, I'd be like, well, the American Werewolf in London Werewolf is one of my favorite props. But it's not technically a prop.
Yeah, it's
Like, I can't believe I'm like, yeah, let's talk about props. And
now
can't
you're
think
just
of...
you can't even choose. You can't even choose a prop.
Like I'll just be honest, like when I think about props, right? Like I usually think of something being used by the performer on the set, something that's physical, right? Not
Which
something
is
that's
why
animated, not
weapons-
something that's digital, but something that literally is. It's not part of their costume, but like I would say, like, you know, like I said, like the lightsaber, like that's a very real prop that's used. It's attached to their belt, or they use it. They switch it out on set for different weights, and if they need the stick, depends what they're doing with it. Or you got like the Ring of Power, right? Like even that in itself is a prop. Like it's something very physical that you can touch, that you use, and you bring with you on set.
Jack Sparrow's compass.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a prop, yeah.
That's a solid
Yeah.
prop. Like,
But that's why I think more often than not, when people think props, they think weapons, because it's what's tangibly...
what's being used by the actors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arguably, like, so many things from Back to the Future I love, like, even, like, the picture of his family fading away. Like, there's so much that I love
that's
from
like
that movie,
again,
too.
that's a combo of special effects.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, the picture itself,
Yeah.
like, that's a good story device.
There's the in the Terminator, there's the picture that Kyle Reese has of Sarah Connor, which is great because, again, like at the end of the movie, she gets her picture taken, and it's the picture that Kyle gets in the
Does
future.
the picture that he has gets destroyed?
I think it gets burnt when he blows up. Like
I've never seen that movie for a hell of a long time.
yeah, man, yeah, because he's got in the future, John gives.
I was probably like 12.
Yep, John gives. John gives. Kyle
I remember
a
what you're
picture.
talking about,
Yeah.
though. Yeah, like to take back so that he can, like,
And it's got that,
intercept.
and then it has that weird loop thing where it's like things still have to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, like that's a perfect example of a prop. Like when I'm thinking about props, like it's stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking about.
100%.
Yeah, like, I am ashamed that I cannot come up with
Yeah,
better answers.
also because Prosser and I already went first.
No, because
You're the third one.
no.
You're like, I don't know.
But no, this is perfectly fit though, because you've taken this and you've now turned it into a philosophical question of what defines a prop.
True. It's like, but like any of like Lord of the Rings, the weapons designed are phenomenal,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right? Like,
100%.
and they were all blacksmith. They were like built from scratch. Like it wasn't
That's what
like
I'm talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's like those are very cool props.
and the design that went into it, like even like speaking of the costumes and all that kind of stuff, like the amount of design and details that went into that.
Well, and again, like with something like Lord of the Rings, it's like you're having to take what was in the book and has never really had like,
Physical representation.
and then you have to take any details from the book and then translate those into live action, and then try to make it something that really could have existed.
Well, and also make it look cinematic, because there's some things that he wanted in the books that didn't really translate to live action.
Yeah. And then there's the friggin' the Witch King's mace.
Yes.
One of the most
Wow, that's pretty sick, though.
one of the most ridiculous props ever made, but I love it.
Yeah,
And
it's
make
so
it
cool.
bigger, and make it bigger. Why isn't it bigger? Make it bigger. Make it
I
bigger.
said bigger, damn it.
We're
think it
gonna
was
have
like
to break out the
100%.
wide. We're gonna have to break out the wide angle lens.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
We need to
trying
like
to
get
think.
a close up on that mace.
I've got a mace. I've got a mace.
Okay, so then I
Star
guess
Wars has a mace. Lord of the Rings has a mace. All great things have a mace.
we'll settle with like the proton
Window.
pack. I'll say that one's
Can we
mine.
get that?
Oh,
Just me.
What?
sorry. I know. I keep thinking of ones, but like Ash's chainsaw hand. Is that a prop or is that part of his costume?
That's a prop.
What he's got like attached to his arm and all that
Yeah, I
jazz?
think that's still a prop.
I would be inclined to agree with you. Like it's got to function like it's part of the costume, but when it's attached to him, it's attached to him.
Yeah.
Whereas I would say something like the different like mechanical hands he have, that would classify as part of the costume.
No, I still think props would handle that.
But it's something he's wearing at that point.
It's replacing a limb that he lost, though.
Yeah. Like the wood one that he has at the beginning of Ash vs. Evil Dead, like I would say that one would probably classify as a prop.
Yeah. But I think even like the glove too, because like, but again, also like when it comes to armor and stuff existing, would it fit under props, costumes, or armory being its own thing?
Well, to me, like armor would definitely qualify as costuming.
Does it fall under costuming or does it fall under a different department? Because especially if you're hiring a blacksmith, are your costumers going to be making the metal, or are they going to get the blacksmith to make it?
Fair enough. It's not a bad question, Bert.
Yep. I think this is an excuse to watch Lord of the Rings appendices all over again.
I mean, I'm down whenever you're like, hey, we should take a day and just marathon all of the Lord of the
Yes.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
So, but okay. So to take this away from that, going into prop vehicles, what do you guys think constitutes a prop vehicle, and what are your favorites? Like, would it be the models that like are used? Would it be not realistic ones? Like, would this would this exclude like actual cars, like the DeLorean?
Well, like I think it comes down to like if it's gotta be able to drive, like I guess technically it falls under being a prop because like it's literally handled by actors or stunt people or what have you.
I would say even if it's not able to drive, is it not a prop? I mean, depending what they're using it for.
Well,
like if they're standing by it or getting in it. Like, I mean, it's different if it's in the background. Like, okay, that's part of the set design or whatever,
because
right?
set deck
I think it
handle a lot of
depends
big
on
vehicles.
the performer's like interactivity with it.
Yeah.
Like how much they actually interact with it and use it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's again.
I mean, I don't know
question
anything.
because
I'm
obviously,
just-
like, you've
I'm
got to
just
approach it
saying
from a
stuff.
similar idea that like the weapons have, because it's got to be something that you're building off. If you're building off of an existing, again, talking about Dread, the bike that they have in Dread that he has, like the Lawmaster, is built. They build onto an existing bike.
Yeah.
They didn't just design one from scratch. I think the Stallone one, they might have made one from scratch just because of like how intricate the pieces are. I could be wrong about that because they got like big ass wheels on that thing. But the Carl Urban one, I believe it's built off of a existing bike.
See, this is why we need to bring on more experts from the film industry
Yes.
who can educate us properly about these things.
100%.
We know a decent amount, but we don't know a lot.
We know stuff. It's just not always.
We know stuff.
A lot of stuff.
We don't know things, however.
Yes, I just want confirmation and clarification. So if anyone who's watching this can give us clarification, let us know. Until then, we'll plan to have some guests that can maybe clarify some of these things for us.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But yes, like, what would you say? Also, just so you know, we're sitting around the 125 mark right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we still got time. What would you say?
Do we have time?
I sure hope so.
Oh, would the clock from Back to the Future count? No, I guess that's more of set decking.
Yeah, it's
more of a
that's
set.
that's a
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's like a set. Yeah.
Doc handles
Yeah.
it though. Yeah, he's at the top
Yeah.
and he's he's just,
Ooh!
Oh yeah, maybe. God damn, I don't know now. You're just
Oh my god!
so many
Did
questions.
you just kick the thing?
probably, depending on what scene, it could either be setting or like scene, like background stuff.
Maybe they've
or a
got
prop. Maybe
prop
the
arms.
hands are a prop,
Yeah.
but the clock itself is in the set. I don't know.
Well, what point do
I
actors
literally
have
know
props?
nothing. I'm just gonna drink my water that I have the bottom of this cup and shut up.
No, man.
I have no water in this cup, just a very little.
Oh,
Alright,
that's
then
good.
refreshing.
It's gonna be some great ASMR for me to edit around.
Yeah.
So then-
exact-
so
no,
then,
just leave it in. Just leave it in. Just leave it in.
Oh yeah, it's all staying in.
Oh, good.
So then the question, though, it goes back to it. Favorite, I guess we'll just say favorite film vehicles. We can just tackle that. And then,
Well, I know what yours is.
What?
It's obviously the DeLorean.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a DeLorean with extra pieces on it.
Yeah, but
like it only gets.
Yeah, but it's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I'm not denying
man.
that, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite prop vehicle.
Okay, well, Sunshine, what is your favorite?
No, I asked you guys first.
Okay, fine. Matt, you want to go first?
No, just
Let me
wait
guess,
a minute.
Millennium
Just
Falcon?
wait a minute. Just wait a minute here.
Matt, is it the Millennium Falcon?
That's not.
We answered
What?
first the last time. I think it's your turn. to
Oh,
go
so I don't think the Millennium Falcon
think it's
counts.
your
It's
turn to
not
go
a
first.
real vehicle.
It's a prop. It's 100%.
Your turn. I don't know.
It's a
wherever you are.
Millennium Falcon's Millennium Falcon's like a set.
No, they're props. It's the inside.
Like
is,
it,
but
yeah,
the
like
out, the
like the
exterior,
controls and all
But the
that.
exterior is a prop, and also the controls
But
they're
is it?
handling.
But is it technically a vehicle?
Is it a prop?
Yeah, prop. The
Does
props
it?
department.
Does it have an engine?
The props
Oh yeah, I
department,
guess. Or the
visual
special effects.
department,
Wasn't it
they
special
built.
effects?
They would have helped build the Death Star.
Which is yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing
Or
with
that should be
you.
visual effects.
Oh my god. Anyway.
But then
That's
that,
what
that
I was.
question, do they also handle
That's
vehicles?
just what I was saying. I was thinking.
Okay, so
Pretty
if
sure
we're
that's,
including
Sorry,
space,
Matt. He's
uh,
being obnoxious.
Visual
my
effects. I don't
apologies.
know.
I just tried to ask what your favorite film vehicle
I feel
was.
it's just it was ILM that did all the stuff for that. I think
yes, if I
that's
do
just
recall.
what that's what I'm thinking. Or that,
But
I'm
yes,
pretty
if
sure
you-
that's what I've seen in all the other documentaries. But
Yeah.
it's hard to tell sometimes because they don't tell you everything, right? They just kind of like show you little bits and
Oh,
pieces
exactly.
and stuff. So
Makes sense.
I wouldn't consider that necessarily a prop per se. I would consider that part of the special effects.
Well, then
Department.
you guys can shut up then. Well, what's your favorite prop vehicle, Matt?
No, I said you first. You first.
Oh,
You've been okay. I'll go first. It's
see, Matt, we do.
fine. It's
okay, what's your favorite prop
fine.
vehicle?
Ethan just needs time to think of one.
Apparently.
Well, because you guys are setting limitations on me now.
Oh my god.
What?
I like the friggin' the V, like the V8 from Mad Max, the Mad Max series, the Interceptor. I love the Interceptor
So what makes that not a VFX thing?
because it's a real car that they modified. Like in that first Mad Max movie, they literally just took a V8 Interceptor and they souped it up and just made it look badass. And it looks more and more run down, and they have to add more and more parts onto it as the franchise goes on. Mostly because in every single movie after the first one, it blows up. So every time they bring it back, it's slightly different than the first time around. Like, I mean, the
How do they
record,
keep bringing it back if it blows up? That seems.
because it's awesome.
Wishful
Like the record is probably, for the shortest amount of screen time, is probably Mad Max Fury Road, because it's literally first couple shots and then it's immediately destroyed by the War Boys. And I'm like, oh no, not again.
Prosser's like, yeah, let's go. Then he's like, no.
Even the Mad Max video game, you don't even get to drive it. It's literally the opening cutscene and it gets blown up and then you have to make a new car. Every single piece of Mad Max fiction that includes the V8, except the first movie, it gets blown up and destroyed.
That's so funny. Prosser's just like, what?
But like that's part of the fun of those for me. Like I think it's just a really badass car, and it looks like if I'm gonna be in the post-apocalypse, that's the kind of car I want to drive, even though it keeps blowing up. And then I love, like, the Ghostbuster car is great, like the siren shit, like that, like
Sure, yeah.
Like even the siren makes me giggle. I mean, like it's just it's so delightful. So I would say those two for sure. And then I like in Afterlife when they add like the gunner seat onto it.
That was cool. I like that.
That was a nice little
It's a
addition.
nice addition,
Yeah. You were gonna say the Ecto one, weren't you?
No.
What were you gonna say?
Well,
Since it's your turn.
Well, number one, you guys have taken any sci-fi vehicles off the plate now.
Oh, I never said
No,
sci-fi vehicles.
It's not. It's
Well, if
not
the Millennium
taking
Falcon
it
can't
off
be
the
one,
plate.
then that means the
It's
X-Wing, the
specifically
Enterprise.
just how the exterior of the Millennium Falcon was actually like filmed and stuff, right? Like because it was on its own little set. Like,
But
it
that's
was,
how all sci-fi
Isn't
like
a prop,
spaceships
but
would be.
it was a
That means the
what do they
Serenity
call it?
doesn't
Little
count.
models, right? Like they were models,
Yeah, but that's what I'm
not
saying. Like,
necessarily props.
by removing Millennium Falcon, you're removing like any sci-fi spaceships from that list. That doesn't exist anymore.
Well, if you're talking about specific props, if you're just talking about vehicles, whatever vehicle you want, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
But if
then-
it has to be
all right,
like
no,
a
I'll stick with
I don't know.
Earthbound.
It's hard to. It's
I'll
hard.
stick
I
with
don't-
Earthbound and
I
Wheels.
don't know what this is. But it's just
my
like
top-
you know what I mean, man.
My top two picks.
We should not have a camera on me. Oh, distracting.
Yeah, it's fine. You look great. You look great, man.
It's gonna be great.
My top two picks would be the Batmobile. I could pick a specific one.
Oh shit! I completely forgot about the Batmobiles.
I just remembered about him just before we went on to Ethan's topic. I was like, oh yeah.
I like Batmobiles.
Honestly, if I had to give it to my top like film vehicle, it would be the Mystery Machine.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah.
Like I just love that van. I love that van so much. It's got
the
such a unique
yeah.
design.
lovely mystery machine.
It's such a unique design. Even when you see other like VW vans or anything that's like that type of van, you immediately think Mystery Machine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like yeah, you see that with the DeLorean where you're like, oh well, the DeLorean is
A DeLorean.
yeah, that's cool. But at the end of the day, it is always that specific car. Whereas you see any other type of van, you think Mystery Machine or kidnappers. But
Or kidnapper, yeah.
Or you either
But,
think fun gang of ghost crime solving friends or kidnapping.
It's just got a sign that says free Scooby snacks on the side.
does Dracula's coffin count as a vehicle?
Uh,
It transports him from place to place.
uh,
What about the
Probably.
Black Pearl?
the Black Pearl.
Oh yeah, that's a
Well,
gooder.
I mean, you're trying to trap me because
Yes.
well, no, because they made
A life-size one that everyone was on and handled.
I think
Yes, I'm sure they
Sure.
did. I'm 100% sure that's exactly what happened.
I'll
Why
be
wouldn't it
honest,
happen?
I'll stick with my answer of Mystery
What else did they
Machine.
sail around in? You think was that CGI? Or
I don't know. I just
actually?
work.
I mean, I imagine a lot
Have
of the
both.
ships were probably CGI, but I know they did build a lot of the ship stuff.
It's not so much they built as they rented.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Just
Matt,
make it
what-
look like your respective ship.
What's yours? What's your top pick?
It's so hard. Like when you, it's like, it's such a difficult question because like when you just ask it out of nowhere, I'm in my head. I'm like, okay, movie vehicles across all of time. Let's go. And then you're just like, I can think of none. Like it's so ridiculous.
Do you want to just say the Batmobile?
Right, like
We'll call it
you're trying to think of like all the different ones. Well, I'll get to that in a sec. We're trying to think of all the different ones.
right because the Batmobile is a whole discussion on its own.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's a whole discussion on its own. And that's probably exactly where I'm going to end up because that's kind of what I remembered just before you were talking about Batman. I was like, oh yeah, the Batmobile. I was like, oh yeah, which ones do I like? But it's hard to like just off the top of your head think of unique vehicles, but you can think of them any other time.
Of
or
course.
You remember them randomly, you know, but like when you're actually trying to think about them, it's like,
Well, that's like I kept
What
thinking
was
of
it?
more movie props as we went through
what was a
everyone else
cool
discussing.
vehicle?
Just like, oh yeah, that and that. Oh, and this one. And, yeah.
Yeah, horses are cool. That's a cool vehicle. Or is that a prop? Or is that also a side performer?
Oh, that would be animal
An
wranglers actually.
animal performer. No, I would say, like just in general, I'm a big fan of just like muscle cars and stuff. So like anytime you
Yeah.
get like some of those like fast movies about cars where they bring out the muscle cars, I'm just like,
Those-
hell yeah! So
those
like
movies
mark
that
me
are-
down for that.
Those movies
I
that are
love
fast
the
and
roar of the
furious.
engine and the power. Oh,
See, I
Fast and
prefer if
Furious,
they're
especially
fast
the
and gentle.
first one. especially the first one when Dominic Toretto rips out of that with that Dodge Charger, like black with like the big blower on the hood. I'm like, yeah, let's go. But then gets destroyed by a train instantly.
Yep.
So
That's what I'm saying. Even though it gets destroyed, it's still awesome.
that was
Oh,
cool.
the train
Or
from
like
Back to
John
the
Wick's
Future.
car at the beginning of John Wick 2 that he had to go through all the effort to get
And
back.
then exactly. It's an
And then just
awesome
got
car,
trashed.
and then it gets busted up, and then
Yeah.
and then he's like, hey,
What?
he's like, hey, can you fix this? Like, yeah, I can fix it.
What other movie? I know what you're talking about, Prosser, too, because I'm trying to. There's another movie
that
that's
like?
like on the tip of my brain where I'm like, that is a sick car, but it always gets destroyed. I can't remember what movie series I'm thinking. Anyway, at the end of the day, like I think the Batmobiles are always just, they're just so damn cool. It's Batman. He's got a bunch of gadgets on them. I think my favorite personally out of that group is like the Tumbler because it's like the most it's the most un-Batmobile of the Batmobiles.
Yes, it's not a
but it's
Batmobile.
also
It's
so
fine.
unique.
It's a tank.
well,
it's
so-
just a tank.
Well, it's not just a tank.
It's a ravine jumping tank.
They designed to
kinda cool.
get two of these jumping
And-
across a ravine to create a bridge for the other armor.
But
Yeah,
again, how did that
and-
not get traced back to Wayne?
I mean, it did.
And
Well, eventually,
yeah,
you know,
it did.
by
Yeah.
someone who worked at
Okay, I think that's the biggest question.
was a
in the world, though.
prototype.
Like, how does all this Batman stuff never get back to Wayne?
Well,
Because
because
it's like
you see,
it's clearly obvious. There's like one billionaire who has all the money.
well, he's
because once
spelunking, you know.
Bruce
once
Wayne.
upon a time, he didn't get Wayne Tech to do this. He just kind of made the stuff himself. And then, for
Oh, I
some
just
reason,
mean like in general movie.
that's what I'm saying.
iterations.
For some reason, somewhere along the lines in the movies, they're like, well, no, we need to explain that he got it from his company. And that, to me, is one of the biggest question marks that I've ever had.
Yeah, which is fair. Like, from strictly, like, a design standpoint, like, the Tumbler is a cool-looking vehicle.
It's clunky.
And I like
yeah,
that.
I know, and that's why I love it because it's so different. It's
just
it's
a big
fun.
old beast of
It's
a
just
vehicle.
But
fun.
it's, again,
And then
stealth
it-
is a huge part of Batman's thing, and he's just like...
But yet it's so clunky. But he can jump across rooftops and somehow evade the cops in it. Like
And
how
then
that
it-
all works, I don't know.
I
But
guess-
the best part is
Here-
it also comes in black.
Yeah,
so.
here's a good question though. Is the bike a modification or could it always do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, was the bike always part of the initial design where it could turn?
Oh yeah, the Bat Pod.
yeah, the Bat Pod, was that always part of the design or did they add that onto it?
I feel like
No,
toy
I
sales
feel like that would
dictated
have to be part of the design.
Like, it feels very specific.
Toy sales, they needed a bike.
Yeah.
No wonder the military
I also
didn't
like the
buy it.
Bat Pod. That's like those are some like beefy wheels. I was like,
Right?
yeah, look at that. No, I don't know. I just I like the other ones. I'm gonna go be seeing the Batman just a couple days after this recording. So maybe that'll be my favorite Batmobile.
I mean,
possible.
I mean,
Once I
I
see the
already.
movie.
I mean, I love the design principle. Like, again, like you talk muscle car. It's literally just it's like a muscle car with a friggin' jet engine on the back. I'm like, yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's combining the two things, and I'm like, yeah.
Like, it's kind of
so we'll
like
see.
it's
We'll
kind of
see
like
how
a
I feel about it.
halfway point between like a regular muscle car and what the Batmobile will become. You know, like
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's a cool
essentially-
idea.
That's what Adam West's car was. Like,
Yeah.
the Batmobile then was just... It was just like a modded, not muscle car, because they didn't
I like
existed that
I like
point.
the red streaks on the classic
Yeah.
Batmobile.
Well, that's probably one of my favorites. Honestly, it's never made it to live action, and I would kind of love it if it did because it's so bad. But like the original Batmobile, where it's just like a car with a giant bat head, like cattle catcher on the front. Like it's just
Oh
this.
my god.
It's
that'd be
so
crazy.
bad, but so amazing.
I
'cause
mean,
it's
like-
just like
It kind of does.
for what?
Because they do a similar thing with the Bat Tank from The Dark Knight Returns, and then Zack Snyder put that into Justice League, where it's got the Tank face.
Well, yeah, but like it just
I
specifically
don't
was like
remember that.
it was just like a regular car from the 1940s,
Yeah.
and it just had like a cow catcher on it.
Yeah,
But it was
that's
shaped
awesome.
like a bat, and it's so bad. Again, can I pick the animated series as my favorite design because like that's a
could-
cop out.
Yeah,
I mean, if we're,
probably.
Yeah, like if we're just talking like favorite design, they've never made in live action. The closest, like the Tim Burton, the first Batmobile is pretty close to it, but
Not even like not at all.
or am I not thinking of the right? Yeah, I guess it's not because it's not really flat.
All the live action ones just get more and more fins as the movies go on for like
And more
that
neon
series.
lights.
Like, and that's the thing is like the Batman Forever one I really like because of the lights, but also like that's so
It
impractical.
makes no sense.
but it looks cool.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. Like,
But like honestly, if I had to pick like practicality, my favorite one is probably the 1960s one.
fair enough.
Although a convertible top makes it's not even a convertible top. The open top makes sense for getting in and out at high speeds.
However, if you're in a crash,
Well, again, but think about it this way: back then, it was never used as a weapon. Like the
Yeah.
Batmobile was never viewed as a weapon.
it was always like how Batman got from point A to point B. And then was it the Tim Burton one add the machine guns? Was
I
that
think
the
so. Yeah,
that was the first time they put machine
I'd
guns
have to look
on the
into the
Batmobile?
comics and the history of it.
And
but,
like little bombs that drop out of the tires. Ba-doink.
Oh yes,
You're like, oh yeah. I love that movie. I should go watch that again. I haven't seen it.
it's
for a while.
good.
just like Batman movies. And I'm excited
Yeah.
for the Batman. I'm apprehensive and I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yep.
Like I'm going into this movie like not thinking like this has to be the best Batman movie ever. I'm just interested to see what they bring to the table because I like Matt Reeves and I like what he does with films.
100%.
So I feel like this will just be at least it'll be its own. It'll be a unique take to a certain degree, or it'll definitely have that Matt Reeves flair to it.
Yeah.
So like his signature style. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going in with an open mind and just seeing what I think when I come out.
See what
And
happens.
maybe I'll make a video about it. Just my
100%.
initial thoughts. Yeah.
Be down for that.
Does anyone have a question of the day?
Oh man.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
We gotta,
Always-
we gotta start writing these down. I'm pretty sure we've had ideas for like 3 or 4 questions of the day.
Yeah.
You always have ideas for questions of the day when it's like during the week or something. You know?
Yeah,
I
Not
never think
actually
about
during
it in
the
all
day.
honesty.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I've been asking questions all day, so I think it's only fair.
Well, I guess if we keep it on topic of like props, is there a prop from an animated show, movie, and all that you'd love to see what it would look like translated into live action? Like, if you could
So
see,
something from an animated series or show or whatever movie
yeah, like
brought
basically,
into the real world.
yeah, like what would that prop be? Also, I legit don't have an answer for this. I just thought it would be a neat
Damn it,
question.
Damn it.
I mean, I've always on the topic of like vehicles, like the Akira bike in live action would be a cool thing to see if they ever, finally get around to doing Akira.
This is gonna sound like such a cop out and make no sense at all. If I could somehow get animated food brought into reality
Yeah.
and get to taste what animated food looks like,
Yep.
Specifically pizza, man. It
Yeah.
always looks so
and
gooey
it looks like
and
it would
stuff,
taste
and it's
different.
like,
It looks like it'd be
raw.
super cheesy, right?
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
not cheesy
It's like-
as in like
it's
like
like-
cheese sauce.
It's
as
like
opposed to,
it's like the cheese is always like halfway melted, so it just always is drippy.
yeah. So it's like yeah. If I could somehow get like cartoony
Man,
looking
that's
food,
such a good answer.
I'll allow it. I'll allow animated food.
That's such a
is
good
it also
answer,
'cause I'm
man.
hungry?
That's a-
Maybe.
Good answer. Oh, because I always think of like the pizza that's on like the Goofy movie.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
like
Like when
with
they're
the
sitting in the
extra
bedroom
cheese,
and
man.
they're just like swirling it around. It's so cheesy. I'm like, where is that pizza? I would love to have some of that pizza.
But even like the way that sandwiches look, like there's like
Amazing.
sandwiches in animated movies where it's just lettuce,
Yep.
and it's like okay, but why is that sandwich so satisfying if it's
Just,
just,
lettuce.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, what does your lettuce taste like? you
Right?
know?
Maybe it's not lettuce.
Damn.
Like, what would it
man.
be then?
It's just edibles.
Mm.
It's just,
Just because it's green.
just weed sandwich.
No, and that's kind of like when I think about food and I think about how good it looks. Animated food looks so good, and you even when like because like you guys have watched binging for Babish videos and stuff like that too,
Where he like recreates.
where he recreates stuff from animated into live action, but it never looks exactly the same.
Right.
And so it's just missing that. Like, if I could somehow get like a real thing and actually taste what it would be and taste how good it is. Because like,
I
man,
could like just stick my hand into the screen and like pull it out.
Like the Willy Wonka
like that.
remake, the reach into the TV and grab the Wonka bar.
that's in the original.
Is it?
Yeah, Wonka Vision.
Oh yeah, no, it totally is. Yeah.
Get out of my house.
Oh, shut up.
Get out of my house.
I'm in the
no.
box. I can't get out.
Oh my God.
Ow.
Leave.
Why do I keep hurting myself?
3D. Stop hurting yourself.
What are you
I was
still doing?
like, what I keep...
It's over.
Why?
Go home.
It's over.
What about you, Matt?
God damn, I don't know.
I don't know.
You gave the bike. I gave food. What's Matt got?
He gave the what?
He gave the bike. He's
the
like
bike
the
from
Akira
Akira.
bike.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I forgot
'cause
you
they-
said that.
Yeah, because
That was so under the radar for me. I forgot you said
it's
that.
just such a dope bike. Like, it's just so awesome.
Oh, man. I don't know. Like, I don't even watch that much animated stuff anymore.
Just choose the house from Encanto. It's you've probably seen that a bunch of times.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what? Max loves that. And he loves, like, the music and stuff, too. Like, we have to play it at our house a whole bunch. And when it goes off, he, like, loses his freaking mind. I was like, no other music's good enough. Like, and he knows what's from Encanto and what's not. I was like, okay, bro, just take it easy. Take it easy, white boy.
Does
Relax.
Baymax count?
Relax.
No, Baymax will be a character.
Baymax be a character? Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a cool one.
La la la.
La, 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 la.
Okay, well, let's think of,
Oh, no. I have the best answer, although I would die. The 3D maneuver gear from Attack on Titan.
Yes, you would die.
It breaks physics, and it would be so fun, but I would die the first time I tried to use
Breaks
it.
physics and your neck.
Yeah.
And you're dead.
I think somebody did the calculations, and like for the amount of power that it would take to like lift a human being into the air, you'd be going like way faster than any human being should be able to go without passing out, and then you would immediately hit a wall and just die.
Does Pinocchio or Gingy count from Shrek?
I mean, he's
Maybe.
I mean,
Hey,
Ethan,
can I
he's,
still
he's
can I
a
do
real
a food?
boy.
Can I do a specific food thing?
Sure, why
Yeah,
That
not?
kind of a is that kind of combo? Because I'm like, honestly, this is like the car thing all over again. I'm just racking my brain. I'm like, I can't think of anything.
It's all good, man.
Okay, the one food thing though, specifically food, that it's like, damn, I wonder what that tastes like. People really seem to love it. That's a Krabby Patty, man. Bringing it back to SpongeBob. Here we go. Everyone loves the Krabby Patty. People are losing their mind. There's like whole episodes where little not gingivitis. I was like that gingivitis
Wait,
guy.
what?
Plankton. It's like that
Plankton?
gingivitis guy. Plankton.
Like
He's trying to steal
were you
the
thinking,
formula.
Like, were you thinking like
He's trying to
plankton
steal the
to
formula.
germ to
Yeah. He's trying to steal the formula, right? And everyone loves them. So it's
The
like,
formula.
what does a Krabby Patty
It's just
taste
nicotine.
like?
It
But
should-
also,
secret
I don't
formula.
want it super wet. You know what I mean? I get it's in the ocean. I would just like a normal one, not one.
Well, that's the thing. You'd want like the
wet.
prop you would want is the Krabby Patty secret formula, so that you could make your own Krabby Patties.
Well, because the debate
Yeah,
is
maybe.
no one really knows what the Krabby Patty patties are made out of.
Yeah, because again, in
Oh,
theory,
yeah. Good point.
like that's the thing. I would want to
Damn,
know.
I don't know if I want to eat that anymore. God damn.
Whereas if you get the recipe, then technically you could choose any meat you want and then just apply it to that recipe.
Would it taste the same?
Well, no, it's not going to taste the same because the meat is what. Unless they do eat, unless they get their, do they get their food from the surface?
No,
They get, is it beef?
no.
4 heaping pounds of freshly ground plankton. I warned you.
We're really stumping Matt here.
I would like the Green Lantern ring. Okay, I don't know.
What the
Shit,
hell?
man, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I'll.
But it has been translated into live action.
Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah, but I don't have it. I thought we were bringing them into the real world, not just
Well, yeah,
Yeah, but
or
it's,
just
it's
translating to
stuff that
live
had,
action. Because then I
it's
don't
stuff-
give a crap
animated
about a live-
film.
stuff that has not been translated into live action that you'd
Yes.
love to see put into live action.
Well, then I don't really care about the Krabby Patty, I guess.
Like going
It's
back
just a
to
burger.
going back to food, like apples for some reason always looked like they would taste way better in animation than they would
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah, but we have live action apples, so does that really work?
Yeah, but an animated apple.
Yeah, that's the
tastes-
thing. A live action version of an animated apple.
Yeah, that's what I want.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm talking about with food.
That's
Because we have pizza.
That's the caveat here.
But I want the animated
I don't
pizza.
know. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, honestly, like, I'm totally blanking right now on like animated stuff. I'm
video
like,
game.
what animated shows do I even watch? Like,
What about
other than like Bluey and stuff, you know?
Matt? What
Watch
about
a lot of Bluey.
Matt? Let's expand to that video game prop. There's a prop from a video game you'd love to see a live action version of.
I don't know, man. See, like, I don't know. I'm blanking on everything today. I'm blanking. I don't know. Like, I think like a real life Hidden Blade would be cool. Like, I know they had a movie where they had some, but like that movie sucked ass, so I don't count. I don't count.
That's fair.
That's a terrible movie.
It doesn't count if it's terrible. Just like the Super
But
Shot.
like a real one would be kind of cool. Damn, what else? Halo stuff. Like, what game? I don't even play
Hyrulean
games recently
Shield?
that much either. What am I literally playing right now?
What,
game
what about the what's the things that make you large in Mario? The mushrooms?
Mushrooms?
Yeah, just the magic mushrooms that turn you into a giant.
Get out of my house.
What?
Yes.
It's a thing.
No, but you had to think about the mushrooms that made you larger.
I couldn't remember the name. I just knew
They're
they were-
mushrooms.
Yeah, the super mushroom.
Get out of my house.
What about the flowers that make you spit fire?
Fire flowers. Get out of my house.
Flower power, baby. Flower
Woo!
power.
What about the raccoon ears that make you fly?
It's a leaf. You pick up a leaf.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is a leaf.
Get out of my house.
All right.
I don't play Mario. Maybe you should. Maybe you'd appreciate video games more.
Well, how about okay, audience? What kind of prop would you want animated and then turned into live action?
That's such a hard question, man.
Write
That's
down in the comments below.
Or tell us what your
that's such a
favorite
hard
props are
question.
in general.
Tell Matt what you think his prop should have been.
Yeah, you tell me. You tell me.
Write
Grape
down
drink.
What? Yeah.
Grape drink.
Yeah.
I think that wraps it up for another wonderful episode of A Feast of Films.
I think if we talk about props next time, we should discuss prop building because that's something that we do.
100%.
I just completely blanked on that until now, but I think this has been a really
Wow, yeah, that would have been a really great topic to talk about, actually.
Yeah, we got more topics for more videos and
Yeah.
more episodes.
Scratch the surface.
Exactly. We can. I don't mind
Yeah.
retreading.
More
some
to
ground.
come.
Exactly. It's just a promise that we're not going to quit
Exactly.
That's right.
for you.
Never.
But you were going to ask where people can find people.
Yes, where can the people find you, Ethan?
Oh, you can
Where
find
can
me on Instagram at Ethan R. Hill. You can find me on YouTube at Ethan R. Hill. And you can find mine and Prosser's feature film Downright on realhouse.org for rental, purchase, or streaming, anything like that.
Very nice.
How about you, Matthew?
Cool, you can find me right here on this channel, A Feast of Films. What's up? But yeah, like I'm gonna make a couple, extra side videos outside our podcast every once in a while, just like more like up to date, maybe some new stuff, or like thoughts on recent movies like The Batman. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, click the bell, and all that good stuff, so you don't miss anything there. But also on my other YouTube channel, Storytellers for Life, I'm back over there. Come back, hang out, let's talk about stories. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. More of all of this.
Sounds good.
People are going to be like, wow, wow.
So much content.
What about you, Prosser?
Yes, I was waiting for someone to ask me. Yes.
He's just sitting there.
You could find me.
He's just sitting there. We're like, You
can find me on the
Okay,
street,
we'll see you
apparently,
Yeah,
because
you
I
can-
have been
you can
kicked out of my
You
house.
can find him on a street corner. I'll need a new roommate. I'll be taking applications.
I'm already here, so. And I'm in a box, so it's not even that hard to feed
Yeah,
me.
Matt, I'm shipping you back.
God.
You can find me on Instagram at thatjprosser. You can find my YouTube, Jesse Prosser, if you want to watch short films that I've done. And, of course, Ethan and I's feature film, Damned Rights, is on realhouse.org. and you could give it a watch, all that jazz.
Yes,
Alrighty.
please send us money.
Especially since I'm homeless now, I'll need it.
Okay, send me money, and I'll make sure he totally gets it.
Yeah, I bet.
I
Anyway.
went on the wrong side there. There we go. Why am I winking towards you?
Matt, wink at the
Damn it!
Matt, wink at the camera. Quick.
Wrong side again? Oh man.
Son of a. Alrighty. Well,
All right, well, I guess that's another episode of A Feast of Films.
100%.
I guess we'll see each other, or see each other, maybe never.
Get
Get out of my house!
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody!
Bye.
Why are you still here?
I don't know.
Matt, why are you still waving?